11 Sports presents St. Luke's Sports Medicine Game of the Week.
Cottingham Stadium here in Easton, the site for East Penn Conference football. Hard to believe, but it's week number 9. It's our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. We have an interesting matchup. The Emmaus Green Hornets with a record of 7-1 taking on the Red Rovers from Easton. They come in with a record of 3-5. Hi and welcome everyone. Al DiCarlo alongside Matt Avantra. So glad you could join us here from Cottingham Stadium. We were here last year as they opened up this new establishment. Just a great location. We want to thank Jim Krivsak for having us here tonight. And we expect an interesting matchup. Emmaus is Emmaus. They've been playing great all year, and Easton's playing their best ball right now.
They are, and I think, both teams know going in, this game has huge magnification into our ramifications going into playoffs. And not only that, history plays a part in this game where over the last 3 years, Easton has had Emmaus' number in this game, and that hasn't always been because they've had the better team or who had the better team. It's just the team with the better record has not always won. So we're going to see something happen tonight. Either that streak continues or it does not.
Let's talk about the Emmaus Green Hornets. We mentioned 7-1. Harold Fairclough is their head coach. They lost to Nazareth in a nail-biter 20-14. One of their key players is their quarterback in Jake Foda. Yeah,
Jake Foda over almost 1,400 yards passing this year, coming in after missing the majority of last season. But the big thing, I think, the big stat for him and the big stat for Coach Fairclough is the fact that 16 TD passes to 2 interceptions. He manages the ball, or manages the game. He takes care of the football. He puts them in position to be successful in every play.
16-2, you can't beat that right now. For Easton, 3-5. Jeff Brado, they're coming off a win. He said their best game of the year, 26-7. They have now won 3 of 4, and they have a healthy Aiden Hutchinson.
And that's going to be huge for Easton tonight against Emmaus and this Green Hornet defense, who is very stingy. But Aiden Hutchinson, almost 600 yards in only 4 games this season. He's missed a majority of the season with an injury, but having him back is huge for Easton because now they have the running game, they have the passing game, so they have both that complement, and they have a healthy offensive line as well.
We expect an interesting matchup, as we said, and we'll see what happens. Our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Emmaus taking on Easton. Yours next.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
The team that we have put together of sport performance coaches and athletic trainers is why parents should choose St. Luke's University Health Network for their sport performance needs.
St. Luke's and our coaches are going to provide the safest and most comprehensive training environment that a student athlete would want, and I don't think there's anything in this area that can rival it.
We are back here at Cottingham Stadium, so glad you could join us. Al DiCarlo, Matt Avancho, and joined on the field right now, Lily Peters from Easton. She's a senior, and Shannon Bickert from Phillipsburg. She's a junior. Their first report.
Hi, it's Shannon Bickert and Lily Peters, and we talked to the coaches before tonight's matchup.
Hi, my name is Lily Peters, and we spoke to Easton head coach Jeff Brado before this matchup to discuss key aspects of this game. He discussed that his team has really been resilient and hardworking throughout the season, although they did start off with 0 wins and 4 losses. They were able to make a comeback with 3 wins and 5 losses, coming off a big win against Liberty last week. He discusses that the run game is going to be crucial to winning this game, especially with the return of Easton's running back, Aiden Hutchinson. Back to you, Shannon.
Hi, I'm Shannon, and I talked to Emmaus' coach, Felker, before today's game. Last match they lost against Nazareth, and it was a very tough loss on them, but they have reset and regrouped, and they are prepared to learn from their mistakes of last game. Although they have lost the last 3 matches against Easton, they are confident in their ability to win today. Back to you, Al.
All right, great job. And, first report there for Lily Peters. And Shannon is, she's from Phillipsburg. So Easton Peterborough, you say it can't happen. You got 2 players that have never been around, and they get to know each other like that.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Again, the program and what it does to bring students together, to take time to move forward in a career that they may want to explore come when they head to college.
We have a couple of other Emmaus students. Joey Draper, who is now at Penn State Lehigh Valley, actually be doing the Penn State Lehigh Valley basketball games coming up in the winter. We are excited to join forces with Penn State Lehigh Valley to bring those games to you, and we'll have Joey doing the play-by-play for there. He couldn't be there tonight because he's at the Whiteout. I'll be heading up there tomorrow morning. And Austin Ports, he's a senior at Easton, but he couldn't make it tonight. So a couple of solid reporters there from Emmaus, and we go with the Easton reporter Lily Peters and also with Shannon Bickert from Phillipsburg as we get ready for this matchup between these 2 teams. Emmaus are ready to make the field, and Easton onto the field. And with that, let's take a look at our Cliff Lewis experience keys to the game, and we start with the Green Hornets from Emmaus.
Coach Farraclaw talked about this. They need to finish in the red zone. One thing that's kind of stymied them over the last couple games is getting into the end zone, in those tight spots and then finishing in the end zone, finishing with touchdowns. And they want to play physical. They know Easton's going to come out and be physical. They need to match that and exceed that for them to come out and win the battle in the trenches.
Well, on the other side for Easton, obviously, they want to get things going right away.
And you see it again. This game, both coaches talked about playing in the trenches and being physical, winning that battle on the line of scrimmage. That's going to be hugely important for both teams. For Easton, working with that running game, but finishing in the end zone as well with touchdowns, and they can't commit any turnovers.
Tonight's Keys to the Game brought to you by the Cliff Lewis Experience at Caldwell Banker Hertside, ranked as #1 real estate team in Pennsylvania and #2 nationwide. The Cliff Lewis Experience can help you with all your real estate needs, serving the Lehigh Valley, Berks, Bucks, and Montgomery counties. Visit their website at theclifflewisrealtor.com or call 610-936-9960 to speak with an agent today. Now we pause and listen to the alma mater and also to the national anthem. Matt, really excited about this matchup. On paper, everyone's saying, Emmaus, is going to, win this handily, and that could happen. But at the same time, talking to Coach Brado, talking to, them before the game, and anything's possible. You would always talk about, and you coach, you always talk about getting into the heads of the high school players. They know what's going on, and sometimes they respond so much differently. All right, yeah, we won 3 in a row, we won 3 in a row now. You know what I mean? So, and they know what's at stake. I said, are they aware that if you win this game, you can sneak in at the number 8 spot? They said they know.
And both teams know that, and as well as talking to Coach Fairclough about the history of this game. And we talked about how Easton has had the advantage over the last 3 years. Coach Fairclough said, yes, our guys know. We talked to them about it. We made it clear that they knew what was at stake and, not to go in and take this game lightly. They knew they had to come in. They were coming into a hostile environment. They had to come in and play. They need to play physical. They need to match that, and they need to just play their game as well and get out on top early. I think that if they can get out on top early, I think that favors Emmaus. The longer you let Easton hang around, I think the more dangerous they become.
We'll get ready for this matchup just moments away, so glad you could join us. If you're a student from any District 11 school interested in broadcasting, journalism, or photography, check out d11sports.com. Follow your dream and get close to the action as you take part in our student internship program. For more information, contact your athletic director or reach out to myself or Dave at d11sports.com. Support for d11sports.com Game of the Week comes from Michael R. Glovis, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley in Easton. For all your investment needs, call Michael R. Glovis at 610-559-6380, located at 101 Ly Holmes Drive, Suite 301 in Easton, PA. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. St. Luke's is the region's largest sports medicine provider, covering more than 200,000 student enrollment and 40,000 student athletes in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, covering 8 counties and providing the most comprehensive and advanced treatment for athletic injuries. St. Luke's offers athletic training, orthopedic care, physical therapy, and concussion management, plus sports performance training for individual athletes and teams. During these extraordinary times, you can trust St. Luke's Sports Medicine to provide extraordinary care. And get ready for this matchup. Again, if you look at the records, it's 7-1. Emmaus coming off a loss against Nazareth, 20-14. Easton 3-5. They won 3 out of 4. They're coming off a big win, their biggest game of the year, that they put everything together, 26-7 over the Liberty Hurricanes. Matt, how important is it for the Red Rovers to jump out in front?
I think it's not necessarily a big importance, but I think seeing that Easton won the toss, they elected to take the ball right away. I think they're saying we want to get out and get a good start and then set ourselves up ahead. I think if they can do that, again, and if they can play from the front instead of trying to play catch-up, that can be a huge advantage for them as they can then dictate the pace of that running game.
I knew Joey Draper would be watching from State College. He said thanks for the shout-out. Get ready to go, and we are underway from Cottingham Stadium as letting this one fly is Owen Garcia. This one will be fielded as it just drops point blank and then losing the football, and Easton will come out of the gates starting really from the 9-yard line. That ball just completely dropped on the ground, and with that, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Easton Red Rovers.
Yeah, and Easton being led by sophomore quarterback Joseph Martinez. He's been in there since about week 2, week 3. Came in against Central Catholic. Been doing an admirable job for the Red Rovers. But, again, the key return is Aiden Hutchinson. And having him in that backfield, again, 600 yards almost in just 4 games, you know he's a capable runner and he can get things done. So
Joey Martinez is your quarterback as we get the first play, and they will start from the 9-yard line. And they will go on the ground and see if they can make something happen. They do. Right off the first play of the game on the handoff and taking off down the sideline is Aiden Hutchinson, still on his feet inside the 45. There's a flag on the play, but Hutchinson wakes up the crowd quickly as he gets the New York Life first down and more, and we'll see what the penalty is. May bring it back just a little bit.
I think it's actually going to go forward. I think it's if it is what I saw, it's going to be a face mask. But you can see there, Emmaus has their defense in position. They had 24 and 35, both linebackers sitting in there, but they bump each other off, and credit Hutchinson for making the cut to free him down the field. But I think we're going to get a 5-yard face mask on the end of the run.
Well, I just said, Matt, does Easton have to get off to a good start? and this is the best start you could possibly get, right?
Absolutely. They just completely flip the field position and now have themselves in a position where they can attack first and get points on the board right away.
So Easton on the first play. First down and 10 from a 30-yard line. And on the ground they go, and Emmaus not fooled here as we take a look at the defense and bring them in after the carry by J.V. Johnson.
As we talked about the defense and that they're going to have their hands full with this running game, so those front eight, the D-line and the 5 linebackers need to take care of business, and one of them, the key is going to be Jackson Lake and also John Wassel. Can they, on the outside perimeter, can they box this running game in and allow those others inside to do their job?
So a loss of 3, and try to get those 3 yards back. Emmaus doing everything they can to pull out that football. They cannot as Hutchinson gets his second carry of the game. So Hutchinson came in, 82 carries, 567, averaging.
Keep Emmaus off balance by attacking the entire width and length of the field.
Man, I thought my eyes were going there for a second. We have one window screen out, one not. And I wasn't sure what was going on there. I finally realized that it wasn't me. So quickly to the ground. We talked about Easton, just getting off to a good start. Emmaus, how much that just shocked them. But it looks like, now they're realizing, okay, let's get back to where we're at.
And I think that's all they do. And the defense, is what they're trying to do is they're going to man up on the outside. They're going to trust their secondary and their athletes to run with the receivers of Easton and commit everyone else to the run and to contain Hutchinson.
So 9:34 on the clock, no score. And just like that, they'll go with 4 receivers and a 4th down and 7 from the 27. Man in motion coming to the near side. Now rolling. And throw it to the sideline and incomplete. So Emmaus, despite that huge run by Hutchinson, will take over here on downs.
And even with a completion there, that's not going to get them a first down. They were short of the first down marker. They rolled out to the short side of the field, just didn't give Martinez a lot of space to make some options and try to force the ball downfield to potentially pick up the first down.
Let's take a look at the Emmaus offense as we'll see them make their way to the line for the first time.
And we talked about Foda in the opening, but I think Tylik Jarvis, the running back, having a successful season, pretty much the same thing as Aiden Hutchinson, has that explosiveness, can get through the line and really hurt you with big plays.
They'll start from the 27, and Foda's going to throw in the middle part of the field, 1-on-2 in the coverage, and the ball is knocked away. Tipped a couple players in there, including Juju Fears.
Yeah, and Foda's going to want that one back. He had his brother, Foda, Chase Foda, running deep, and he was behind the defenders, but just unfortunately couldn't get enough on that to connect with them.
Bring in the defense after this play. Glad you could join us here from Cottingham Stadium in Easton. Easton sideline, obviously packed for each and every game. They bring in everybody. 2nd down 10 from the 27. We're approaching the 9-minute mark, and they'll screen to the far side of the field. Completion is made, and a New York Life first down and more. Down the sideline, still on his feet. And finally getting tripped up. That's a huge, huge pickup, and that comes just on a toss play into the hands of Dylan Darville.
Yeah, Dylan Darville does an excellent job of catching the ball first. Make that important, the important catch. He makes it first. Backwards, it's a lateral to begin with, makes it, and then he eludes the tackle to begin with, picks up a great block downfield, and does not have enough to outrun Alex Georges, who makes the shoestring tackle to trip him up.
So 1st down and 10 from the 16-yard line. And it's been pass, and this time it goes to Chase Foda.
Number 17, Jacob Foda's pass, complete to number 10, Chase Foda.
Yeah, Chase Foda, Jake Foda gets it out to him quickly, but also has the lead blocker and offensive tackle Jonah Miller coming out. We take a look at the Easton defense. They're going to have their hands full in the secondary, in the linebacking core. I think contending with the number of athletes and people that Emmaus puts on the perimeter, they're going to have their hands full tonight, and that's what they're going to have to rely on.
2nd down and 3 from the 9. They can get a first down, and they will go with a handoff, and they will fake it. That's Photo. Will go straight up the middle, but a good job defensively. Giovanni Macario is one of the guys in there for Easton.
Number 9, Giovanni Macario.
Looks like they pick up 2 yards, so still have the opportunity to pick up a first down just outside the 5-yard line.
Corrected, 3rd and 1. Ball spotted at the Easton 7-yard line.
So 3rd down and a long one. I like to call it a long one sometimes. It depends. Here from the 7, down to about the 7-minute mark as we approach it there. Has yet to give the ball on the ground to Tyler Jarvis. Does there, and this is really close.
That's going to be real. You're right. It's going to be real close. They're calling it 4th down, however.
So we saw that Easton couldn't convert on 4th down and 7. Here is going to be 4th down and looks like less than a yard. That's maybe 2 lengths of the football. I mean, we can't. We have a tough angle here.
It looks like if they get inside the 6, they have the first down.
Foda. And take a block in front, push forward, and get in for the touchdown from 7 yards, and Emmaus draws first. So a 7-yard touchdown run by Jake Foda. And that's his 5th touchdown, Matt, of the year on the ground.
Similar play to what they ran earlier where Foda kept it but came up north-south. This time he follows Jarvis to the perimeter and picks up some blocking to head into the end zone. But a nice play, a nice drive by Emmaus with some big plays, then moving the ball through the air and then finishing off with the run.
Owen Garcia will put that one through, and with 6:16 on the clock, it is 7-0 in favor of Emmaus. Let's take a look.
You're going to see Jarvis coming in motion. I'm sorry, not Jarvis coming in motion. Number 25 or 15 it was coming in motion for Emmaus and Ryan DeJean, and then Foda fakes it to him and follows his block into the end zone. You can see Emmaus, they get that touchdown on the board. They get that monkey off their back. Now we're playing from the front. Let's see what they try to do here coming out. Do they get really aggressive defensively and they try to just shut Easton's offense down right away, or do they kind of just play their game and kind of play a little bit conservative? Again, you can't let Easton hang around. I think they need to try to put them away.
Interesting, the way the dynamics of this game really started. Easton with a huge run, 50-plus yards by Hutchison, but on 4th down 7, they couldn't get it. And next thing you know, a big, screen pass and run. And this is Juju Fears. And Fears tries to bounce to the outside. He will get to the 25. Gets a block in front, but nowhere else to go. But good field position. They'll start right around the 31-yard line.
It'll be interesting to see if Emmaus comes back with that kick. With Easton's kick return, they only have 4 guys on the front line, and they're leaving at least 15, 20 yards in the middle of the field wide open for a quick onside kick. We'll see if Emmaus comes back and tries to exploit that.
Emmaus averaging 35.5 a game, giving up just 11. Easton averaging 25 points a game and giving up about 24. Here's 7-0 Emmaus. Joey Martinez will go on the ground. Hutchison tries to bounce to the outside, has a lot of room out there, a lot of space. Hutchison across the 40, he'll get across midfield and still on his feet as he tiptoes down the sideline for a New York Life first down. Boy, he gets out of there real quick.
He did. It looked like Emmaus had him pinned in, but credit Hutchison for getting outside of that. You're going to see Brady Correll, number 80, come in motion to pin the defensive end, and then you had number 56 and 8, but it was the key block by the receiver on the outside on the cornerback. As he was coming up, he pinned him to the inside, giving up the leverage to the outside and giving Hutchison that room to run.
6 minutes on the clock, and they stay on the ground. This time Hutchinson comes to the near side. And that's going to be close to another first down. About a yard short, gets 9 yards.
Very similar. Easton has to be careful, though. They're coming. They tried to run the play quickly, but their outside receiver wasn't necessarily set at the start of the play, or just as this play started, they got set and then didn't move right away for the play, but does pick up enough a block to give Hutchinson some room to run.
Second down and 1 from the 33. And getting the first down and getting a little bit more is J.V. Johnson. So another New York Life first down, moving the chains inside the 30 down to about the 27-yard line.
This is what we talked about with both teams, getting inside the red zone. Can you finish the drives with touchdowns? Last time Easton was down here, they have a very capable kicker in Austin Marlucci. They elected not to go for the field goal, elected to go for it on fourth down. We'll see what happens this time if they come up.
5:24. Toss it. Hutchinson's going to throw. Has 2 receivers, and I don't know if they got this.
No, juggled.
Juju Fears on the right side, on one side, and that pass actually was thrown the other direction.
Look like it was number 10 that was
Jordan
attempted
Alston.
for Jordan Alston, but he's not able to haul that in.
Great play call.
Yeah, you had both receivers. And Hutchinson takes a lot of attention. You see everybody. He's out here right underneath the scoreboard. Everyone comes up. You leave Fears, you leave Alston alone, and he kind of throws it in between them, and Alston not able to haul it in for the touchdown.
Matt, do they go back to that later on tonight? Could they?
I think it could be something we see later on, or it could be something they try to throw the other way.
Yeah, missed opportunity there for the Red Rovers. Second down and 10. Hutchinson didn't see anything on the outside, pops back in and goes the other way. And now the all-white jerseys will bring him down.
And that's going to be interesting, Al. So what you saw there on that play, Emmaus is so quick to get to the hole, to the point of attack. Hutchinson being patient, makes the cutback, and everybody's flowing the other way, and he's able to find the hole backwards or to the backside. Emmaus needs to stay in their gap, stay gap control, and make sure they're taking care of their assignments and not overrunning the play.
So third down and 5 here for Easton. Clock winding down inside 4 minutes and 35 seconds. Hutchinson gets down to about the 18, right inside the 18-yard line.
Looks like we're going to be 4th and 1, 4th and 2.
Yeah, they do move it back. They move it back to the 19. So this is the second time in 2 drives. It was 4th down and 7. They couldn't convert on the opening drive. They missed a chance at a touchdown. They had the defense beat. And now they get the ball with a 4th down and 2.
And we're going to have Easton taking a timeout. Aiden Hutchinson came to the sideline to get a break. And on this 4th and 2, he's not somebody you don't want in the game for you. So it looks like they're going to take a timeout, think about what they're going to do, and hopefully get him back in the game to run the ball.
So they're taking a timeout, but they're waiting to take it. Obviously, you want to take as much time, even though we're in the first quarter, so you don't give Emmaus the ball.
Exactly.
I mean, so, trying to, milk that clock as much as you can before you take and bang that timeout. Glad you could join us here. D11sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Al DiCarlo, Matt Avancho with you up top. And down below, we have 2 student reporters, Lily Peters from Easton. She's a senior, and Shannon Bickert from Peaburg is a junior. Yes, Easton Peaburg. I'm going to throw that out each time. And they play, though. Isn't that a football game that they play sometime every now and then?
It's a pretty small game, right?
Pretty small game. How big is this game? Well, 6A classification right now, going into tonight. Emmaus leading the 6A classification. Nazareth right behind them after the victory. Northampton in the 3 spot. Can try to be unbeaten tonight. They beat Deerhoff. And Freedom in the 4. Those 4 spots already have clinched. Now, looking for the last spots, Parkland, Hazleton, Stroudsburg, and Wilkes-Barre are the next 4 that are in as of tonight. Williamsport is playing Hazleton tonight. Obviously, Easton's playing Emmaus, and we'll see what happens. And Parkland's playing Liberty tonight. So You can see some juggling, at 1, 2, 3, and 4, depending on what happens here, but also on those bottom 4 as well.
It's going to be tight coming in, as you said, Williamsport playing Hazleton tonight, but it's just going to be a tight next couple weeks to see what happens in those last 4 slots.
New York Life first down from Hutchison as he gains the necessary yards and more. Matt, if you look at him right now, obviously we've seen him play last year, but 5'10", 220, that's where they have him right now. I mean, you could tell.
Yeah, and he's coming. They're setting him deep in the backfield, so he's coming to the line of scrimmage with a full head of steam. So that's making it even more challenging for the Hornet defense to bring him down.
From the 15, Joey Martinez now rolls, has a receiver wide open, off the back foot, throws in, the receiver goes down and incomplete. So twice on this drive, opportunities have gone awry for Easton as that ball was attempted to go into the hands of Brady Correll.
Yeah, Brady Correll just play action. Again, all the attention going to Hutchison, and that's what helps with this passing game. It opens up that passing game as the cornerback, it falls asleep, and Correll able to get behind him, but an errant pass allows Emmaus to dodge that one.
Yeah, maybe just throw it a little bit sooner, expecting it, but he's rolling out and then had to go off his back foot a little bit. So second down and 10. The ball sits at the 15. Receiver split, one on either side. Now motion to the near side. Martinez going to give it up again and getting a block in front. Good job getting tripped up as Hutchison gains some yards there, but popping in there was Riley Bechtel.
And that time, Emmaus does a nicer job of sitting in their gaps, taking where they need it to be, not over pursuing. And Hutchison, he sees that coming to the line of scrimmage, and it just sticks with the hole. But a great drive here by Easton, and if they can get away with points, I think that's going to boost confidence.
So third down and 6. They can get a first down right around the 6-yard line. Martinez looking to throw. And that one bobbled and incomplete. So back of the end zone. Now do you bring in Martellucci here?
And it looks like Easton's going for it. There's no team on the sideline coming on to kick. So they bring in a different personnel. But at that time, they look for Juju Fears. They look for their top receiver. Martinez puts the ball up there, but in great coverage is Emmaus. To be there at the right time, times it up, and knocks the ball away.
Again, you do not need to get a first down here, but you need to get 6 yards, keep the drive going. At the 2:20 mark of quarter number 1, Easton trailing by a score of 7-0. They have the ball sitting at the 11-yard line. Fourth down and 6. They go motion to the left side. Martinez, and
I think we're going to get Emmaus off sides.
I'll give him a first. Well, they'll get him to 4th down and 1.
It was the defensive back for Emmaus just not knowing where the line of scrimmage was. He comes up to press the wide receiver, but steps over into the neutral zone, giving them 5 yards and setting them up for a short pickup for 4th down.
Huge penalty on Emmaus right there. Huge. So instead of a 4th down and 6, you could put a 4th down and 1, and the ball sitting at the 6-yard line. And you don't even have to get a yard here, Matt. It's less than a yard, but again, easier said than done. Hutchison out of the Wildcat, and Hutchison will get the first down inside the 5 down to about the 3. A New York Life first down. First and goal.
And then Hutchinson in the backfield taking the direct snap, so he's getting the ball. You split out the wide receivers, but he's going to carry the ball. It's 4th and short. You have to think Easton. You have to think they're going to run the ball and they're going to give it and keep it in his hands.
Clock here, first quarter, winding down to 2 minutes. Easton trying to punch it into the end zone. That ball's gone into the end zone about 3 times on this drive alone. They go 2 receivers far side. Hutchison again.
First and goal from 3.
And this time, Easton's going to give the 5 yards back to Emmaus. There's a false start in the backfield. So where you had the ball at the 3 and you figured it was going to be Hutchinson direct snap until they got in the end zone. Now they move it back. Now it changes things up.
Down to 133 and counting. Again, Easton started this on a Aiden Hudson about 50-plus yard run. They had the ball at the 9-yard line. They took it across midfield but couldn't convert on 4th down and 7. Jake Foda then went 7 yards for the touchdown. That came at the 6:16 mark. Here, 1st and goal from the 8-yard line as Joey Martinez checks back into the game. They'll pitch this one. That was a dangerous pitch. It was a little quick shovel pass coming across, but that was not where you wanted to put that one.
And it's a safe play for Easton, too. If that does get bobbled and it does go on the ground, because it's a forward pitch, it's a forward pass, so that would be incomplete. But at that point, again, everybody from Emmaus is right at the point of contact. So you have to think at some point, that's twice they've run that, very little success. Do they have the play action off of that? They have the one receiver still set out to the left side. Do they bring the motion, fake that, and then look to hit a quick slant or something to the receiver?
Well, they were down to the 3. Now they're backed up to the 10-yard line. So 2nd and goal from the 10. Back to Hutchinson they go. Hutchinson squeaks through down to the 5, gets back to the 3, pushes forward, and we'll get down to about the 1-yard line. And we'll change directions of the field. That will wind up the last play of the quarter. So the only points of the first quarter, Jake Foda, 7 yards, giving Emmaus a 7-0 lead. When we come back, it'll be 3rd and goal from the 1. You're watching our D11sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Back after this.
At St. Luke's Orthopedic Care, you can trust us with your hands, feet, shoulders, hips, and knees. Because healthy bones and joints mean you can do more. You can trust us to recommend the right approach to care, including joint-sparing treatments and therapies. And when surgery is the only choice, we offer options to help you heal faster, including technology-assisted joint replacements and muscle-sparing hip surgery. St. Luke's, the orthopedic care you trust, now more than ever. St. Luke's knows that trust is the foundation of all relationships. It's earned over time. It's the type of relationship you should have with your healthcare team. While our healthcare needs are different, one thing is constant. St. Luke's is focused on building a lasting relationship with you, earning your trust and putting your well-being first. When it comes to great healthcare, trust is essential. St. Luke's, the care you trust, now more than ever.
That's going to be the key. They need to finish.
We are back. We'll get Matt's thoughts. Actually, Matt, your thoughts on the first quarter before we get started.
Easton has had their opportunities, and I think what the thing is that we talked about was being able to finish. They've had opportunities that they haven't been able to finish, and then here's a situation where you think they're going to get the ball to Hutchinson. They're going to let him run the ball and put it in the end zone.
And Hutchinson will do that and go in from a yard out. First play of the second quarter, and Easton is an extra point away from tying things up. So a 1-yard touchdown run by Aiden Hutchinson. That is his 8th rushing touchdown of the season.
As we said, they brought an offensive lineman over, so they went unbalanced to the right side and allowed Hutchinson an extra blocker, and then it was just a matter of just getting those couple inches into the end zone.
Austin Martolucci with the extra point, and we are tied 7-7. Matt, let's go to the replay, then I have a question for you.
So again, as we said, they bring an offensive lineman, extra offensive lineman over. He down blocks and opens up the hole, and they had no secondary or no linebacker level filling in to that gap, and Hutchinson does the rest of it and just gets into the end zone.
He missed one drive in that first quarter. They scored a touchdown, but only one drive. How important is that to Easton doing what they did?
I think if they can continue to do that, again, you allow them to hang around, and Coach Farrakhan said it. Easton's playing much better at this point in time. You know, they're getting some things healthy. They're getting people healthy, and they're getting some confidence. If they can continue to build confidence, I think that's a dangerous situation for Emmaus.
Well, it's 7-7, just underway here in the second quarter. Glad you could join us here on D11sports.com, our Game of the Week, brought to you by St. Luke Sports Medicine, as Martolucci has it on the tee and lets this one fly. This one will be taken at around the 9-yard line and picked up there, middle part of the field, and bounced across the 25 up towards the 27-yard line. And we'll see what the offense does here. Tonight's game brought to you by the Cliff Lewis Experience at Caldwell Banker Hertside. Ranked as number 1 real estate team in Pennsylvania, number 2 nationwide, the Cliff Lewis Experience will help you with all your real estate needs, serving the Lehigh Valley, Berks, Bucks, and Montgomery counties. Visit their website at clifflewisrealtor.com or call 610-936-9960 to speak with an agent today. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. Quick toss, and I believe there was a flag there at the end of that play as that went to Jarvis.
Yeah, Jarvis gets the ball on the outside. He comes in motion out. Foda puts it out there quickly to him, but they're going to catch Emmaus, number 11, Jackson Lake. Jackson Lake with the hold on Juju Fears. So that's going to push them back and really put them behind in the sticks.
So 7-7 your score underway here in the second quarter. Already a touchdown for Easton. And we're even Steven as they'll mark this one off. Again, the offense coming out for Emmaus for the first time in a while. They scored the 6:16 mark of that first quarter. Foda with 3 receivers far side, and Foda's going to actually he does give that one up to Jarvis, and Jarvis goes to the far side. So hung on to it for a while before giving it up.
And as that happens, you're holding on to it, trying to make that read. You allow the linebackers of Easton time to trail that and really get in position to not allow you to get a big gain. I think you need to let that go as quickly as you can, make the decision, and make Easton make a decision along with it.
Second down and 11 from the 26. Here comes the defense. And that one thrown away as the pressure was coming by Hutchinson. And he had just tossed that one to the near side. And he was looking in the direction of Chase. And brings up a third down.
This is going to be a key third down. See what Emmaus wants to do. They've been able to get behind the secondary of Easton. They were trying to play safe a little bit there and keep it in front and just pick up some yardage. But you have to get some big yardage here unless you're content with picking up something and then punting and playing defense.
So a big play in the game right here, a minute into quarter number 2. Emmaus, third down and 11 from the 26. Foda, here comes the pressure again. Foda going to throw, and he gets over the defense and into the hands. Wow, what a throw and what a catch. 74 yards for the touchdown into the hands of Dylan Darvell.
And Darvell adding to his stats as the leading wide receiver for Emmaus. He came in with 588 yards. That easily puts him over 600, but a fantastic job adjusting to the ball. Foda put that up there, and again, this time not underthrowing him, put it to a position where his receiver was the only one to get it, and then it was Darvell outrunning everybody for the touchdown. But a fantastic play on 3rd and 11, no less.
Wow, 3rd and 11. You saw that he beat the defenders. It was only a matter if he can catch up to the ball, and did that as Garcia will put that one through. And just like that, at the 10:47 mark, about a minute and 10 seconds after the touchdown by Easton, it's Emmaus striking, and boy, did they strike. Take a look.
And this is why Easton's trying to control that clock. But again, you see Foda gets great protection, picks up protection from Jarvis at running back, and it looked like this ball was just way overthrown at first, and it just hung there for Darvell to go run underneath it. And again, a fantastic job for a high school athlete making that adjustment catching it over the shoulder and continuing with his balance, breaking that one tackle, and then eluding the other for the huge touchdown.
Well, it's overthrown if it's you're running.
Absolutely, it's overthrown if I'm running. That's not a lie.
Now, if I'm running, I'm right on there too.
Absolutely.
I'm scoring.
Yeah.
That was a great throw, number one, and a great catch. And just like that, Emmaus regains the lead by the score of 14-7. Boy, this is entertaining right now.
Spears and Austin deep for the Red Rovers. Garcia's kick.
This one, and there was two guys almost colliding. I think Fears wanted the football, did not get it. And it will be taken down right around the 25-yard line. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think Juju Fears has not touched the ball on offense yet. Had one play defensively. Maybe had one touch on offense.
I don't think he has. He was going to have one touch when they lost 5 yards for the false start.
Okay.
He was getting the ball on the jet sweep.
D11sports.com thanks Michael R. Glovis, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley in Easton, for his sponsorship of the Game of the Week. For all your investment needs, call Michael R. Glovis at 610-559-6380, located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301, Easton, PA. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. On the ground, Hutchinson bounced to the outside. He gets a block there, and just as I said that, good job defensively of beating his guy and making the play was Elijah Fajardo.
Yeah, Elijah, what he does is out there, he's fighting and battling the block, battling the wide receiver, number 17, J.C. Wilson of Easton. And at the last second, he puts himself in position where he's supposed to be on the outside, and he gets Hutchinson to make the mistake of going outside, and he stops him, and then he has some teammates come to help him make the tackle for a short gain.
Clock inside 10 minutes here in the opening half of football from beautiful Cottingham Stadium here in Easton. Second down and 8. Martinez, I thought he was going to throw, does not, just tucks and goes, but really nowhere to go. He gets taken out of bounds right around the 30-yard line, bring up a third down.
And you can see Emmaus defensively in that situation. No Aiden Hutchinson on the field. They had no respect to the play fake of Easton. They sat back. They saw who was in. They knew the play fake came. They sat back and stayed and sat on their receivers.
So we'll bring up a third down and 6, the ball at the 30. Fears lines up to the near side for Martinez. Oh, someone jumped.
Looked like it was number 56. Offensive guard Sam Nestor for Easton, jumping, putting him 5 yards deeper. And you have to think at this point in time, you switch up what you're doing a little bit as you see Hutchinson and Alex George is coming back into the game, change personnel. Maybe a screen pass to Hutchinson coming out of the backfield, maybe a draw play, something to get Emmaus to think pass and drop, and then give Hutchinson time to get a few blocks and then get in past the line of scrimmage and then make something happen.
So the first down marker is now sitting at the 36-yard line. Tough place to put that ball, as Emmaus not fooled whatsoever on the quick toss.
And they again, what we talked about before, they bring J.V. Johnson in the motion, and they try to get a quick screen out to J.C. Wilson. But to do that, you need to have offensive linemen. You need to get your offensive linemen out there to pick up that first block, and Easton was not able to do that.
So just like that, it's fourth down. Hutchinson is at his 8-yard line.
Looks like they're pointing at Emmaus' side.
Well, this still is just going to give him 5 yards, but still going to be punting the ball, just getting a little more space for it.
And that's something Coach Fairclough cannot be happy with. That's twice now they've had their defenders in the neutral zone at the snap of the ball.
Hutchinson in punt formation. Darvill deep.
4th down and 10 from the 26-yard line. A low snap, and Hutchinson does a good job of getting that one off. And this one will take a positive roll and then goes back right around the 39-yard line is where we'll see Emmaus take over. They lead by the score of 14-7. You're watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. St. Luke's is the region's largest sports medicine provider, covering more than 200,000 student enrollment and 40,000 student athletes in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, covering 8 counties and providing the most comprehensive and advanced treatment for athletic injuries. St. Luke's offers athletic training, orthopedic care, physical therapy, and concussion management, plus sports performance training for individual athletes and teams. During these extraordinary times, you can trust St. Luke's Sports Medicine to provide extraordinary care. And partner, pretty exciting game so far.
It's a pretty even game. You know, we made 2 huge plays, really 2 huge plays. They finished the first drive, and then this time, and here's interesting, they bring in Josiah Williams, who was their quarterback last year.
Middle part of the field, and that one is incomplete, as he was looking in the direction of.
Looked like he was looking for Ryan DeJean, tight end, on the streaking down the middle. I think he looked outside first. I think he had him earlier, but just because he looked away first, he didn't. When he came back, he allowed the secondary to get in position.
So Matt, change of quarterback.
And Foda's still in the game.
Right.
He was still in the backfield at that last play. He and Josiah Williams are in the backfield.
2nd down and 10 from the 39. Let's see if they can run with it. Nowhere to go. All red jerseys.
Josiah Williams on the carry.
And Josiah Williams, 6'3", 212-pound quarterback, so he brings a running threat where he's going to be a handle, a tough tackle, a tough guy to bring down. But again, they're not able to get him started and get him past that line of scrimmage.
You know, how important is it, the year that happened last year and you have that chance to, to play at that position. It gives you some opportunities, even looking ahead, not only tonight, that you can use these 2 guys if you have to in a certain way.
Absolutely. And again, talking to Coach Fairclough, Williams, he came in last year and he did a fantastic job for Emmaus and put them in a great position.
3rd down and 7. Foda back in there, throws it, gets hit as he throws, and that one, wow. This one was going to be overthrown, Matt, but they get tangled up and they will call a pass interference.
And there was no need. He was in good position, and you have to be able to see as a defender, you have to potentially see that it is going to be overthrown. But he drags him down and gives him no chance and gives him that 1st down. Here, take another look. He's coming. He's the 2nd receiver coming in, and it's well overthrown, by about 5 yards, but drags him down, and it's going to get called every time.
So instead of a punting unit coming in for Emmaus, they get 1st down inside the 45-yard line.
And that's 2 3rd downs now, 2 key 3rd downs, one for a touchdown and this one for a 1st down to keep drives going.
From the 43. Again, the change at quarterback. Now they're going to throw. Oh, they were thinking about it.
And that's a dangerous situation.
I'll tell you
when
what,
you're
that
looking
is
at that.
crazy. I tell you what. So Dale Fink, has been on this staff. We can talk about the coaching staff for Emmaus. And Dale Fink is a creative mind, right? He's from Illinois. He comes in here and trying to change some things and has done a great job with the quarterbacks. But you said it. You have opportunity to those 2 quarterbacks. You don't know if he's going to run. You don't know if he's going to throw. You don't know if he's going to just go up the middle. There's a lot of things going on there.
Yeah, because you have Josiah Williams who can fake the photo. He can run. You can hand it off the photo. He can run out. He looked to pass, but he ran. And now you can motion photo. You can double pass. Just a lot of things that can happen. That it's crazy.
This time it's a straight keep and go and a New York Life 1st down inside the 15-yard line down to the 13 on a huge run by Josiah Williams.
And that time they put Foda in motion. He looks over there quickly, but you pull the offensive guard and he comes out, kicks out. You pull the H back into Jean. He gets a huge block. He's not making a block until 20 yards down the field. That's how wide open that hole was.
Ball spotted at the Red Rover 13.
So Williams stays in the backfield. And so does Foda, by the way. This time Foda takes the handoff. And Foda's going to try to make that turn, gets inside the 10, and gets taken out of bounds.
Number 17, Jacob Foda.
It looks like he picked up about 5-6 yards, but that time the first time they ran it, he had the ball out in his hand like he was going to throw the ball. That time it was clearly tucked away. He was not going to throw it. He was running that the entire time.
Second down and 4 for the
Man, I love watching this.
It
really keeps you on your toes.
And you know what? The other thing, too, is you have to have two competent quarterbacks to be able to do that. You have Williams and you have Foda. They're both capable of leading this team to a win, and now you get to play around with them both in the backfield.
So second down and 4 from the 7. And that one will be incomplete as they try to go Williams to Foda.
And Easton's fortunate on that because Foda, if he catches that, he had 2 lead blockers in front of him, and he had no other red jerseys near him inside the 5-yard line in the end zone.
Again, you can get a first down inside the 5 without a touchdown, so you don't have to go for it all here.
And us not being able to see Emmaus and Easton, we don't get to see everybody play all the time. Is this a new wrinkle, or is it something they've been doing all along? Because they look like they're pretty well versed in it.
Third down and 4 from the 7. And Foda's going to take it himself, spin through, and he will be short of the first down. They'll actually mark him outside the 5 and bring up a 4th down.
So it looks like we have an Easton player down.
So stoppage here with 5:52 on the clock. And it'll bring up a 4th down situation for Emmaus. Now, next week, 2 big games. We'll be at Northampton for Northampton and for Whitehall and Northampton. And again, going in tonight, Whitehall's in second in the 5A class at 5-3. Suddenly Eyes at 7-1, and Northampton obviously playing Deerfield tonight. Depending on what happens there, they could be looking to go, undefeated in the regular season. So we'll see what happens in the games tonight first and foremost. Then on Saturday, opportunity to be at Freedom and Liberty. That's always entertaining. You throw those records out the window. We've seen teams that weren't supposed to win. We've seen teams that are supposed to win, win, all the way around. So it'll be a great, final regular season as well.
And that's going to be an interesting game. I think that Freedom-Liberty game, I mean, going into it record-wise, you have to put Freedom as the favorite. They're playing extremely well. They had that real tough game earlier in the year where they dropped that one to Emmaus, and they dropped another one early on. And they've just been playing fantastic. Jalen Fletcher has had a fantastic year this year.
And as you're saying that, timeout called by Easton. Liberty beating Parkland right now, 13-7 at the end of the first quarter. So that's, you start getting scores and you start listening to that stuff, and it gets really interesting.
And I totally forgot to take a look at some of these scores and the updates coming in. But that's a huge game, I think. And as we talked about, we had Liberty against Nazareth, and you definitely see the pieces there. You see the ability to score, the ability to make plays, but you just didn't see the finishing out of them. If they can put that together, and I think that's what plagued them last week against Easton, they weren't able to finish drives. They weren't able to finish plays. This time they're able to do that. If you're seeing they're able to do that right now, it's just can they continue to do that?
Well, 4th down and 2, the ball at the 5. Again, they have to get to about the 3.5. Foda will try to follow a block. He'll get the first down, and he will get the no signal yet. Did they signal that?
They did.
Touchdown.
He got the touchdown.
So 5-yard touchdown for Jake Foda. That's his 2nd touchdown. 1 from 7, now 1 from 5 also has the pass.
So you have to credit the offensive line on the left side as well as tight end John Wassel for pinning down the defensive edge and then getting a block out in front by Jarvis, and it was just Foda diving for the pylon in the goal line for the touchdown.
Extra point is up and good by Owen Garcia. And it's 21-7, Emmaus leading at the 5:42 mark.
So take a look at that touchdown again. You see Foda, he picks up the block from Wassel, also DeJean out there, and then Jarvis is the one who picks the last block, and then it's just Foda the rest of the way into the end zone, diving for that goal line.
So 5:42 on the clock, 21-7 is your score. Al DiCarlo, Matavancho. Little Brown Jug, South versus Stroudsburg. You saw East Stroudsburg South play last week as well. Santos Martinez is at the Christmas City Bowl. Freedom and Bethlehem Catholic will have updates throughout the night for him as well.
Austin and Fears deep for the Red Rover. Garcia set to kick.
And Juju Fears will take this one for the first time on the return. He's been wanting the football, and will get up across the 30 up towards the 32-yard line, and they'll actually make it up all the way to the 34-yard line before he's taken down the play.
Get an update here from Catasauqua. Catasauqua 7, Palisades 0 in the first half, and that's a huge game in the weight division of the Colonial Schuylkill League, up for first place.
Jaden Fletcher with a touchdown. It's 14-0. Freedom leading in their game against Bethlehem Catholic. Nazareth leading as Pearson Yulsis is out there. It's 14-0 over Whitehall. And we'll give you some more scores as this game progresses. They'll toss this one to the far side. And that's about, 8.5 yards for Fears.
8.5, 9 yards for Fears. They get the ball out to him quickly. They put him in the slot, and Emmaus does not adjust over to the three-man receiver side. And a great call by Easton, getting the ball out there quickly and allowing Fears to pick up 9 yards on first down, putting you in a great situation, 2nd down and 1. You have a lot of things at your disposal right now. You can take a shot deep, pick up the first down, just a lot of things that you can do.
Banger at the end of the first quarter, leading Blue Mountain 7-0. Jensen Bust is there, and lots of reporters out. Jaden Harper from Stroudsburg is covering the game up north. Had a chance. So we talk about the coaching staff for Emmaus, and you look around, you see Mike Palos, you see Coach Sisley's out there, Sawicki's out there, Rami Musa's out there. It's like, wait a minute, it's like an all-star cast of coaches.
And it's talking to them, I officiated one of their JV games earlier in the year. They have 6 ex-head coaches, current or ex-head coaches, including Coach Fairclaw, on the sideline. And that can be a blessing, but I could see it potentially being a curse at times. You try to get these guys to know what their role is in the program, and I think those are 6 quality guys that Coach Fairclaw has on his staff.
Well, when you look at the coaching staff, you kind of know where Rami Musa is at all times because he's high energy. Yeah. When he was at Palisades, talked to him all the time, doing a minimum of 40,000 steps a day. I mean, I was happy with my 10,000, and he's doing 40,000.
I think it'd be great to see Coach Musa go up to East Stroudsburg South and coach with Matt Walters.
Oof.
Those two together, the energy.
It'd be great. 2nd down and 7. The ball at midfield. Looking to throw. And that one hangs up there for a while. And Fears, did he come up with the catch?
He came up with the catch, yes.
So Juju Fears comes up with a huge catch right around the 13-yard line.
And that's a big turn there for Easton. They're able to get the ball down the field to Fears, and it's against quality coverage in the defensive back, number 24, Dylan Darville. It's just Fears goes up and pulls the ball away from Darville. Last time in the end zone, Darville was able to go up and knock it away. This time he's not able to.
Well, Juju Fears, if you're wondering, came into the game with 31 catches on the year, 402 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's averaging 13 yards a catch. He gets a bunch there. The ball at the 13-yard line. Motion to the far side for Martinez, and he'll go to Hutchinson. Hutchinson, nowhere to go, just gets pulled back. A number of players in there for the Green Hornets, including Carlos Cadu.
And it looks like he picks up about 3 yards, and Hutchinson does a nice job in the hole by sidestepping a would-be tackler from the Green Hornets who read the play, but he sidesteps him, able to pick up some extra yardage.
Matt, right here, the ball's at the 10-yard line. Emmaus has 3 timeouts here. Do you take one here?
I think it's going to depend on this play and see what happens here. And if they can get a stop or maybe get Easton pushed for a loss, maybe they do take a timeout, try to get the ball back.
Hutchinson tries to make the turn, and he will actually be taken out of bounds, so I don't have to worry about that.
This is going to put him in a third and short. Yeah, 3rd and 4.
Yeah, you can get a first down without a touchdown. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here at D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Al DiCarlo, Matt Evangelo, Dave Micah down the field with Lily Peters, Easton Sr., and Shannon Bickert, a Phillipsburg Jr. And right now it's 21-7. It'll be a 3rd down and 4 from the 7-yard line. And pushing forward, and that is right on that first down marker. And I believe that it's a first down. It is, the New York Life first down, so 1st and goal here for Easton.
First down and goal to go for the Rovers.
Looks like we're going to have a timeout.
So you may as well call a timeout, knowing that, hey, the ball's at the 2-yard line. They want to get as much time as they can to see if they can, get the ball back and do something with it.
And I think that's the time you want to take it, because now that they're inside the 2, not that you're foregoing the fact that they're going to get a touchdown. You're still going to try to stop them, obviously. But at that same time, you want as much time left when you do get the ball back, either on a turnover and downs, on a turnover, or off a kickoff. You want to make sure you give Jake Foda or you give Josiah Williams plenty of time to move the ball down the field to get yourself a touchdown, because Emmaus does receive the second half kickoff.
Well, first things first, if you're Easton, you got to make sure everything you do is you get the points and you get you cut into the lead, because you'll be happy to go in the locker room down 21-14. It'd be huge for you.
I think it absolutely would be. And again, you're going 21-14, and if I'm not mistaken, this is only the 7th drive of the game, maybe the 8th. But I think Emmaus has scored on every drive they've had. Easton has had, I think, 1 stopped, and then
on the ground. And in for the touchdown is Hutchinson. So Hutchinson scores again from 2 yards out, and Easton right back in. It's Hutchinson from 1 yard, this time from 2. That comes with 1:48 on the clock.
Number 14, Joseph Martinez to hold.
And the extra point is straight through the middle by Austin Martellucci. And we've got a game, 21-14.
And 21-14 with 1:48 left. Here you get another look at the touchdown. He just follows straight up the hole, straight into the end zone. And again, starting him deeper in the backfield allows him to create more force, get more speed, heading into that line. And then it's tough to bring him down as he's moving forward that fast and with that much strength.
So 1:48, 2 timeouts remaining for Emmaus, so 1 timeout remaining for Easton. Kind of starts to get interesting here, because anything's possible. It can happen. But again, you go in the locker room right now, 21-14. If you're Easton, you won the first half.
I agree with you. You do have to contend with coming out in the second half and giving the ball to Emmaus, but I think it also depends on what happens here. Can Emmaus get any points off of this last and final drive?
This one will be fielded right around the 11.5-yard line. And Tripped on the play is Darville. So good field position to start with the two timeouts and 143. We've seen Foda already, between the two quarterbacks. They can really, they've done it. They can put it up there and score if they had to. Remember before, it was a 74-yard touchdown pass to Dylan Darville.
And I think that's where you look, what does Easton come out to do? Do they continue to press? Do they continue to bring pressure, play aggressive in the secondary, or do they sit back and just try to keep everything in front of them and not let anybody get behind them?
Looking to throw, goes sideline, and that one is complete for the first down, a New York Life first down into the hands of Rafael Terrero.
And Terrero's a big target at 6'3", 200 pounds, just running a quick out. He gets past the 10-yard mark, runs an out route, and Foda has it timed up and puts it there where he catches it right at the sideline, gets out of bounds, saves a timeout.
So 1st and 10 from the 42. Comes to the near side. That one, wow. Great play by Fears.
And that you can see on this side, Easton defense Fears playing a little bit further off, so he's able to see that route cut in front of him, and he's able to make the jump on the ball. And really, about a second sooner if he gets there, he's picking that off, and he's running it in for a touchdown.
2nd down and 10 for the Green Hornets. Ball spotted on their own 42.
2nd down and 10 from the 42. Again, May still with those 2 timeouts left. Looking to throw. That was incomplete as he was trying to get that into the hands of Jackson Lake.
So now this brings up an interesting situation. 3rd and 10, and Emmaus has been throwing the ball. 2 incomplete passes now. Both have stopped the clock, so very little time has run off the clock at this point in time.
Yeah, if you're Easton, you stop him here.
And
Matt,
you have 1 timeout left if you're Easton too.
Matt, the question I have for you is if Emmaus gets the ball to the 48 range, are they going?
I think that if they get the ball to that range, I think they are going to punt it. I think they have to play safe there.
Here comes the pressure, looking to throw. Foda does a great job of escaping. Does he have enough room? And he tiptoes down the sideline, gets popped at the end of that play. There's the flag, came out late. Easton faithful, they won't like it.
And this would be this is a close play.
Matt, from up here, it looked like it was a right call, right? But at the same time, the flag came in like 2 seconds
late. The flag
late.
came in very, very late. But this is a huge mistake, depending on what it looks like. I mean, this is a huge mistake on Easton's part.
Yeah, Jeff Brado not happy at all. We'll show you that play after this play. So 1st down. Foda going to turn, nowhere to go. As he gets driven out of bounds, this time on the Easton sideline. Take a look.
Yeah, we take a look at the other play. Foda, he eludes pressure, and he's getting off to the other side. It's 54, Sean Wilson coming.
No, it's the right call.
And he looks like he's a yard out of bounds.
Yeah. He was at the stick where the stick is laying when he hit him. Yeah, it was.
He's a yard out of bounds and then gets pushed another 5 yards out of bounds.
So with that, anyway, the ball now sits at the 31-yard line. Again, getting out of bounds, the clock stops at 1:15. 21-14. Emmaus on top of Easton. Lots of pressure, but gets it out. Does a good job of getting it to Jarvis. And another flag comes in.
It looks like it's where it's thrown. It looks like it's going to be holding against Emmaus. blocking the back against Emmaus. So it had to be one of the linemen out there, one of the linemen trying to get out and get a block. Just unfortunately blocks him in the back, and it would have been a small gain for Emmaus as it is, and would have forced the timeout. This clock's starting here, so you have to see what Emmaus is looking to do. They can't take the amount of time they have been each play.
Foda going to throw. Has the receiver, but not much on the pickup.
He's going to pick up about 8, put him in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7 maybe. So Easton was playing with 5 defensive backs at last play, so trying to keep everything, again, playing an umbrella, keeping everything in front of them. And again, so this time they have 4 defensive backs. So they really should be playing the same type of coverage, keep everything in front of them.
They've been going back and forth one sideline to the next and doing a great job of getting out of bounds after the catch was Ryan DeJohn.
And most importantly, picking up the first down as well. So not only getting out of bounds, but getting a first down on top of it.
Yeah, New York Life first down. Wasn't sure if they got it, and they did. They moved the chains. So now with 38 seconds, there's still time. But how about they've been literally going back and forth, rotating that sideline. I'm waiting for someone to go straight up the middle now and then see what they do.
Yeah, and what they're doing, eBay is obviously spreading them out east and knowing they're going to pass. You know, do they look to get something up the middle? Do they try to sneak something through? This time Easton with no free safety in the middle of the field.
First down and 10. Foda going to throw again. And there we'll get another. They'll be close to a first down on the pass completion into the hands.
Looked like that was in the hands of Chase Foda. Number 10 looked like he's the one picking that up. Putting him in 2nd and 1 just at the 15-yard line. 33 seconds left.
Great drive here for Emmaus. Again, they banged the timeout there at the end. They wanted to make sure they had 1, and they have 2 left. And they have not had to use it. They've been going sideline to sideline on every pass play.
And you have to think at what point, and then I'm looking at number 15, I'm looking at Ryan DeJohn in the slot. At what point do you sneak him or sneak Foda up the middle?
And Foda will go indeed up the middle and more, 15 yards for the touchdown.
And Emmaus is seeing them. You're seeing Easton pull the free safety out of the middle. There's nobody in the middle of the field. All you have to do is get by that secondary level of the linebackers, and then if you can pick those up and get past them, there was nobody else there for him to stop him.
So both times that Easton has scored, Emmaus has responded, and they go on top by the score of 28-14 with 27 ticks left here in the first half.
And it's a huge break, I think, for Emmaus to get this. But again, you see nobody in the middle of the field. You have those linebackers coming. They're blitzing. And then Foda pulls it, hits right up in the middle, and picks up some key blocks from his offensive line on those linebackers, and then he's able to get into the end zone, putting them ahead 14. Now you're looking at what's going on here. And with a 14-point lead, Emmaus getting the ball back to start the second half. So it's going to be a key thing to see how this turns around.
Yeah, touchdown by Hutchinson was at the 148 mark, and Foda goes 15 yards on the touchdown at the 27-second mark. And Owen Garcia puts it on the tee at the 40-yard line. By the way, I tripped on the tee earlier. I wasn't paying attention. I almost went down, rolled the ankle. And this one will be taken at the 10-yard line by Fears. Fears, middle part of the field, and he will get up towards the 32-yard line and up to the 34. Matt, 18 seconds on the clock. Do you do anything here?
I think you do. I'll apologize to Easton fans now. I don't want to bring up bad things, but they threw the Hail Mary. They threw it to the end zone. Fears had it. Officials called them down at the 1 with time expiring. So they have one timeout. You at least can get down the field some. And Martellucci
has a
great kicker.
Sure.
You take that chance.
So 18 seconds on the clock for Martinez. Looking to throw, nothing there. Now comes to the near side and a quick toss, and there was. I thought they were going to stop the clock. They did not stop the clock here.
And the officials missed. Oh, wow. All right, so the back judge did see it.
Is there a flag? There is
a flag. The flag came in. The officials around the play missed a late hit by Emmaus.
Well, do they put 5 more seconds on that clock?
I don't think they put more time on. I think you have the 5 seconds. You're going to get 15 yards here at least.
Right.
And depending on Martinez's arm, this puts you in a position where you can take a Hail Mary. You can throw it towards the end zone.
If you're wondering field goal, obviously that's going to be out of range. You're looking in the 60s.
We'll see. I saw Martellucci put it over from 50.
All right, so they leave the clock at 5 seconds.
I have to think this is going to be the final play.
Oh, you're going to say that now.
I'm going to say it's the final play.
So the ball at the 46. They go trips far side. And looking to throw. Nothing there. I'm going to try to run with it, but time will expire. A little extracurricular going on afterwards, and there's a flag.
And this is going to change everything. So this, depending on what happened here.
Will this be assessed in the second half or now?
It should be assessed now. But if that could be Ben Mercado's second dead ball personal foul. If that's his second dead ball personal foul.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 77 of Emmaus. That penalty was set at the start of the second half. It'd be a 15-yard penalty. That's number 77's first unsportsmanlike foul towards the disqualification.
This is interesting because I don't know I missed what they called the first time because it was on Mercado. And if that, from all intents and purposes, what I saw was a personal foul, it was a dead ball personal foul. This is a second one. He should be ejected. But again, not knowing exactly what they called the first penalty.
So usually we get our interview here, but I'm going to tell Dave to hold off on this interview because I don't know if Harold's the nicest guy in the world, but, maybe just Shannon could talk to him, as he comes out of the locker room would be probably a better thing. But you're right. That's the conversation right now that's being talked about as they go out.
And credit to Coach Fairclough. Hindsight, he could have pulled Mercado out after the first penalty. He did not. He left him in. But he immediately went up and addressed it with Mercado after that second one. But again, I still missed what they called that first penalty. Mm-hmm. And without knowing that, I don't know, if it was a dead ball personal foul, which I clearly thought it was. That's his second. He should be ejected.
Well, we're at the half. We'll take a break. We got an interesting matchup right now. It's 28-14, Emmaus on top of Easton. Back after this, you're watching on D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine.
I believe that St. Luke's and our coaches are going to provide the safest and most comprehensive training environment that a student athlete would want. Hopefully they come to us and they leave and there's not another need to be filled. We provide it all.
There's not another orthopedic group, sports medicine group, healthcare system in the country that has high-level, degreed certified, years of experience.
On the ground, go!
Every coach, every parent, they want what's best for their student. Okay, they want what's going to help them be the best version of themselves. And so that's what we can provide. I don't think there's anything in this area that can rival it.
Halftime show. They're the Emmaus Marching Band right now. We've got a good one. It's 28-14. Take you through the scoring so far here in the first half. Again, it all started with Aiden Hutchinson with that 50-plus yard run that really started things off, which was pretty impressive, but they didn't get anything out of it. 4th down and 7.
One more round of applause.
Jake Foda, a 7-yard touchdown run. Emmaus went up 7-0 with 6:16 on the clock. That was the only score of the first half. Second half, Aiden Hutchinson, a 1-yard run, made it 7-7. Jake Foda then 74 yards to Dylan Darville, made it 14-7. Jake Foda, a 5-yard run, made it 21-7. Aiden Hutchinson, a 2-yard run, made it 21-14. And Foda, a 15-yard touchdown, 28-14. We'll go back down onto the field as they recognize the band, the senior band members. We'll take a listen to that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please applaud and cheer as each student's name is read and they step forward to be recognized. Jaden Aquino, tuba, escorted by Elizabeth Aquino, Alex Aquino, and Alexa Aquino. Alex Baber, flag captain, escorted by Sharon Baber, Adam Baber, and Jessa Baber. Kamine Belcher, food section leader, escorted by Keon Belcher, Bernice Sharpless, and Davon Sharpless. Meloni Belcher, baritone, escorted by John Sharpless. Caroline Bernhardt, horn section leader and band secretary, escorted by Kristen Sanford and Bill Bernhardt. Helena Bertram, tuba, escorted by Lincoln Bertram, Adita Bertram. Kayla Bishop, majorette, escorted by Kathy Moda and Kelvin Bishop. Gianna Boynton, tuba, escorted by John Boynton and Lisa Getz. Roger Cabrera, horn section leader, escorted by Jessica Cabrera and Roger Cabrera Sr. Alexa Catanero, drumline captain and band treasurer, escorted by Sandra and John Catanero. Talisha Cheese, drumline, escorted by Letitia Cheese, Russell Cheese, and Destiny Blackshear. Asia Clark, majorette, escorted by Ariel Clark, Anthony Clark, Janisha Clark, Negron, and Aaron Clark. Alex Cohen, saxophone section leader and band vice president, escorted by Chris and Ben Cohen. Ashley Cohen, mellophone and librarian, escorted by Donna Cohen, Julia Cohen, and James Cohen. Ryan Cologne, trumpet, escorted by Megan, and Rich Cologne. Madison Dieter, majorette captain, escorted by Mary Clark. Juliana Delgado, flag captain, escorted by Michelle, Jen, and Frankie Delgado. Ben Fossa, drumline, escorted by Frank and Kim Fossa. Estelle Fox, pit captain, escorted by Janine and Peter Fox. Naomi Francisco, majorette, escorted by Mia, Donna, and Frank Francisco. Brandon Frenzy, trumpet, escorted by Sherry and Dave Frenzy. Michelle Galvez, majorette, escorted by Sonia Loki and Michael Galvez. Ariana Gillespie, tenor sax and librarian, escorted by Rhonda and Ron Gillespie. Leah Guerra, tenor sax librarian, escorted by Nani, Jose, and Brianna Guerreri. Hannah Gunikins, clarinet section leader, escorted by Kim and Tom Gunikins. Eli Hendrickson, flute, escorted by Alex Pratt and David Hendrickson. Amelia Himstead, clarinet, escorted by Agnes and Richard Himstead. Jacob Hoffman, drumline and quartermaster, escorted by Brian and Ashley Hoffman. Daniel Howell, trumpet section leader and quartermaster, escorted by Ralph and Kara Howell. Nate Hudson, drumline, escorted by Natalie, Bill, and Ella Hudson. Riley Jessamine, majorette, escorted by Jessica, Mark, and Tyler Jessamine. Peter Cosmar, trumpet, escorted by Paul and Maria Cosmar. Caitlin Cameron-Diener, trumpet and librarian, escorted by parents John and Karen Cameron-Diener. Robert Carroll, trumpet, escorted by Robert and Lene Carroll. Michael Lavitz, saxophone, escorted by David and Terry Lavitz. Christina Lee, majorette, escorted by Joseph Lee. Alexa Lehman, flag, escorted by Charlie and Kathleen Lehman. Jamie Lynn, flute and librarian, escorted by Tina John, Emily Lynn, and Jaden Lynn. Aaron Lopez, trumpet, escorted by Rufo and Kimberly Lopez. Lucas Maglina, drumline, escorted by Louis Maglina. Katya Marcia Krupi, and Elizabeth Perilla. Iman Malik Flukes, escorted by Tavia Satana and Naveen Kyan. Austin Martelucci, drum major, escorted by Enzo and Jennifer Martelucci. Esteban Martinez, tuba section leader, escorted by Alexandra Martinez. Cassie McGinley, tuba section leader, escorted by Deneen and David McGinley. Asia McNair, majorette, escorted by Talima Johnson and Rashawn McNair. Mariah Muth, flag, escorted by Kathy Conyers and John Youth. Alan Nahara, tuba, escorted by Josephina and Jose Mahira. Sam Nestor, saxophone, section leader, escorted by Frank and Jen Nestor. Emily Nicolazzi, flute section leader, escorted by Tracy and Rick Nicolazzi. Paige Panto, flag, escorted by Greg, Kim, and Madison Panto. Sophie Pearson, flag, escorted by James Pearson and George Ferguson. Cameron Peterson, drum major, escorted by Tiffany Hubbard, Nathaniel Peterson, and Samantha Peterson. Brian Popolo, trumpet and quartermaster, escorted by Mary Ellen and Alex Popolo. Summer Rabinold, saxophone, escorted by Pam Lander and Matthew Hess. Hannah Relvis, drum major, escorted by Michelle and Michael Relvis. Janelle Rossi, majorette captain, escorted by John, Patricia, and Geraldine Rossi. Ryan Smith, trumpet section leader and band president, escorted by Jennifer Smith. Darren Soledad, drum line captain, escorted by Jennifer and Ernesto Soledad. And Ada Cruzas. Anthony Spaziani, drum major, escorted by Brian and Emily Spaziani. Andrea Summers, trumpet, escorted by Barry and Elijah Summers. Naziah Taylor, claret section leader, escorted by Sedina Baptus, Zanaya Taylor Baptus, and Caitlin Wierzabicki. Zion Vaughn, saxophone, escorted by Raquel and David Vaughn.
How we doing?
Liz Marie Velasquez, majorette, escorted by Elizabeth Reyes and Romeo Perez. Leanne Valente, trumpet section leader, escorted by Lisa and Tony Valente. Angel Wanira, flute section leader, escorted by Paris Caparino. Patrick Werkheiser, drumline, escorted by Diane, Robert, and Michelle Werkheiser. Morgan Williamson, saxophone section leader, escorted by Stacy Piano and Jeff Williamson. Lauren Wolford, flute section leader, escorted by Dennis and Beth Wolford. Darius Worthy, flute, escorted by Tiffany Martinez, Martin, Marlon Worthy, and Miles Worthy. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank each senior member for their commitment to our school, community, and their leadership. You continue to inspire and lead the band to great heights each day. Thank you for building upon what it means to be a Red Rover. We know you will continue to do great things after high school. Congratulations to the entire senior class of 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, please give the senior band class of 2023 a huge round of applause.
Great job there by Easton to recognize the band members, and there was a lot of band members indeed. Extended halftime here at Cottingham Stadium as the two teams will make their way back onto the field. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll get you ready for the second half of play. You're watching our D11sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. 28-14 is your score. Emmaus on top of Easton.
I believe that St. Luke's and our coaches are going to provide the safest and most comprehensive training environment that a student athlete would want. Hopefully they come to us and they leave and there's not another need to be filled. Your daughter or son's team can come to us and we provide it all.
On the ground, go!
The team atmosphere and the team that we have put together of sport performance coaches and athletic trainers is why parents should choose St. Luke's University Health Network for their sport performance needs.
There's not another orthopedic group, sports medicine group, healthcare system in the country that has high-level, degree certified, years of experience.
Bench, hip thrust, or floor, we know what block A is, and then we get another group of 7.
Certified athletic trainers and the performance coaches are assigned to schools and they are there and they are getting the teams and doing team training around sports schedules and the student activity schedules. That's primarily where it's done. We also provide training here, like at this facility. We provide a comprehensive training program that is the most up-to-date training advancements. It's the safest it can be.
We got our A-walks, remember, good.
Not about gimmicks. Our guys are all educated and have the science behind what they're doing, a rhyme or reason to what they're doing. And we have leadership that will make sure that we're going to provide the best service there is. We actually care about your kids.
Focusing on getting my butt back and my chest up.
People don't know how to use this stuff. And so you need someone to teach them and to help them navigate it in a way that's going to be productive, that's not going to hurt them.
They trust me to put together a workout, and they're always asking questions about it, which is great. You know, I wanted them to have that trust that, you know, I'm going to help them succeed on and off the court.
Every coach, every parent, they want what's best for their student. Okay? They want what's going to help them be the best version of themselves. And so that's what we can provide. I don't think there's anything in this area that can rival it.
We are back here. 28-14 is your score, and a good one between Emmaus and Easton. Support for D11sports.com Game of the Week comes from Michael R. Glovis, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley in Easton. For all your investment needs, call Michael R. Glovis at 610-559-6380, located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301 in Easton, PA. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. Tonight's game also brought to you by the Cliff Lewis Experience at Caldwell Banker Hertside. Ranked as the #1 real estate team in Pennsylvania. #2 nationwide, the Cliff Lewis Experience can help you with all your real estate needs. Serving the Lehigh Valley, Berks, Bucks, and Montgomery counties. Visit their website at clifflewisrealtor.com or call 610-936-9960 to speak with an agent today. Game also brought to you by New York Life for over 175 years. New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have a current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. And Matt, as we come out, there you see the penalty assessed at the end of that first half. And people just joining us, and this one actually goes into the end zone, so they'll start at the 20-yard line. Matt, your thoughts of the first half, including the end of the first half? It got a little hostile there a little bit.
Yeah, so the explanation we're getting is that the first penalty was a personal foul, while the second penalty was an unsportsmanlike conduct. Potato on those, right? They're the same thing to me. But it was heated, and I think Coach Fairclough, he had to go in the locker room and he had to get his players to calm down and get them to play the game and get ready to go. Easton has to come out and play with some energy in the second half because they have their way a hill to climb.
And Foda right away on the toss play to the far side, and they will get a New York Life first down and some more, and they get almost across up towards midfield on the completion into the hands of Dylan Darville.
Yeah, and as I was saying before that play, so you get a good look here, Foda, he gets it out to his brother Chase, and nice stiff arm, Darville, nice stiff arm to get broken for a huge gain to start this second half, but, just not seeing a lot of positive body language in the Easton players. It just, it doesn't seem like they're here to play right now. And it could be just their personality. It could be that, but you want to see that they bring a little bit more energy to the second half.
Well, they brought some energy to that play right there, flying down and making a defensive stop.
And for Easton defensively, Sean Wilson making that tackle, he's not one of the guys you want to leave unblocked if you're Emmaus. And they did not block him, and he makes them pay for that with a big tackle on first down.
So just underway here in the third quarter. It's been an interesting first half of play and an extended halftime. But, it looks like Emmaus hasn't really missed a beat to this point. But this becomes, huge play defensively and offensively for both teams, depending on what happens. They float one again here to Darville, and he'll break the tackle and get a first down. And again, a late hit is going to be assessed here on the Easton Red Rovers. So a New York Life first down, tack on another 15, and Emmaus in business.
Just not a good sign there for Easton. You had them stopped. You had a good pursuit to the ball right at the point of contact and not able to get to make the tackle. But then, very similar to the one in the first half, he's halfway out of bounds and you hit him. He just mistakes that have been plaguing them, for a while now.
Yeah, and with that, the ball goes all the way down to the 29-yard line. You give them really a short field at this point. Again, they kicked off from the 50, and they booted it into the end zone, making sure they didn't return anything. First drive of the second half here for Emmaus from the 29. Foda going to throw again, and that one incomplete. And another flag on the play.
And I think we're going to have a lineman downfield. That's the tough part with that is, it's the run-pass option. Foda decides to pull that as the linemen are block and run, but the longer he holds that, the linemen are working their way downfield, and you just can't get it out in time, and then you have that illegal man downfield.
Long discussion here. Some scores while we're waiting. Bangor leading 20-7 with 7:23 left in their game already against Blue Mountain in a tight one. Nazareth was winning last time we checked 21-7 over Whitehall. At the half, it was Stroudsburg leading East Stroudsburg South 17-0. So 2 penalties against Emmaus, and 1 assessed on the holding call, though, moving back 10 yards.
Yeah, so after a long discussion, we have that cleared up. I didn't see the other flag in for the holding.
Neither did I. I only saw the one. Bangor gets a stop, and they are 3:48 away. Again, they're battling with Central Catholic and Bethlehem Catholic for the top spots in that 4A classification. Bethlehem Catholic, playing against Freedom tonight. So from the 39, this went to the far side of the field. And they'll gain some of those yards back. So that was Darville again. He got driven into the ground, but he gets up and he's okay.
And again, once again, Easton has them right where they needed him. They had them broken down one-on-one. You have to trust your man to make that tackle, but Darville able to elude that tackle and pick up some good yardage, putting him in a potential, get a couple yards each play, you can pick up this first down.
Second down and 15 from the 34. They've been loving that sideline. That's incomplete, but they really have been doing a good job on that sideline. This time it was trying to go to Chase and incomplete.
And that was a close one because Foda comes up with the ball but just not bringing it down inbounds. So they were trying to get about 9 yards to put them in a third and about 7, but unfortunately now a third and long. You have to think, are they going to exploit Easton, trying to get Easton to play deep, try to hit a screen pass underneath it, or maybe come back to some sort of double pass?
Foda going to throw. He gets behind the defender again and touchdown. Once again, he'll connect that dynamic duo, Foda to Darville from 34 yards and the touchdown. Jake Foda has been on fire.
I have to say right now, if you're Emmaus, why don't you just put yourself in 3rd and 15, third and plus 10. Every time they've been 3rd and plus 10, they've thrown a huge touchdown pass to Darville.
Wow. Well, you're looking at a team in Emmaus. As the extra point is good, you said it. They're going to come out of the locker room and get the ball first. They only take about 2 minutes off the clock, and they score. Take a look. I mean, this is picture perfect. 3 defenders.
And that's the big thing. I'm glad you said that. 3 defenders around him. So Darville's right above the E in the scoreboard, and he's back. He's going out, and he has a defender over him, another defender over top, and then a third defender coming over top of him. But not as good as the route and the pass and the catch, the route and the catch was for Darville. Foda put that ball in the perfect spot. He put it right outside, right over his shoulder, where only his guy could catch it. The Easton defenders had no chance at getting a hand on that ball.
So just like that, 35-14. And if you're wondering, because I'm going to tell you right after this kick, Foda has been part of every touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown run, a 74-yard touchdown pass to Darville, a 5-yard touchdown run, a 15-yard touchdown run, and a 34-yard touchdown pass to Darville. And they'll send this one to the 20-yard line, and it'll be picked up there. Trying to cut to the outside is Kale DeSora. DeSora meets a lot of white jerseys. And they'll start right around the 22-yard line here with 10 minutes on the clock here in the third quarter. So, Matt, as we see what happens here, this opening drive of the third quarter for Easton is monstrous right now.
Absolutely.
You don't want to give the ball back to Emmaus down 35-14.
And what do you do if you're Easton? You're coming out. You're down 28. I'm sorry, you're not down. You're down 21. I'm sorry.
You're
down
the math
21.
guy, aren't you?
I am. So do you now push yourself into a hey, we need to throw the ball downfield, we need to score quick, or do you still stick with some running?
I think they're going to still stick with run. Hutchinson does a great job, what he's been doing, and, right there picking up about 8 yards on the first play.
And J.V. Johnson on that first carry, so Hutchinson
will
coming
come
back in,
game.
but you don't have a lot of time.
Yep.
In the first half, you did a great job. I thought Easton did a real nice job, Yes, they gave up that last-second touchdown on the last drive, but they did a real nice job of limiting the number of touches Emmaus had in the game. Now you're coming out here. You really need to move a little bit faster.
2nd down and 4 from the 31. I'll make it a long 3. Now it may be 4. Has nowhere to go. I picture ahead. See, I look ahead. I see this stuff.
Yeah, so we have about 3rd and 3.
So 9 minutes on the clock here in the 3rd quarter.
And this is a big first down, I think. This is what you need to convert on this.
Matt, I think everyone thinks it's going to go to number 5, and I still think it should go to number 5.
And I agree with you. I think you give it to them behind your offensive line. You say, listen, guys, we need to pick this up. This is on you.
Direct snap. And push forward. He is going to be short.
It depends on the spot.
Oh, no, that far side, he may have gotten the first down.
Both spot, he just by the nose of the ball, he picks that up.
So New York Life first down, and I'm looking at Coach Fairclough. He's looking at the official, and he said, you moved that without looking. Are you sure? So the first down, great job there by Easton to move the chains. They needed the yards, and they did get it.
Now, at some point, I think, again, you have to get out of that running game. You have to get the ball out to your receivers a little bit more.
35-14. Now rolling and throwing and connecting into the hands of J.V. Johnson. And Johnson gets across the 40 up towards the 42-yard line for a gain about 8.
And J.V. Johnson, he's the guy coming in motion to the near side. He was coming towards us. He runs a quick out. And as Martinez is rolling out, he gets good protection, has his back protecting with him, and able to get the ball out there to pick up a nice gain on first down.
That 5A classification, which we'll see Whitehall next week. Whitehall trailing Nazareth right now, and in both 6A and 5A, Stroudsburg want to punch their ticket and doing a good job of it. Here's the New York Life first down and a great run all the way towards midfield. Matt, while we have a second here in between, Stroudsburg looking good, and if you're wondering how where they fit, they continue to win tonight. And the next week they have a relatively easy game, I believe. For them, so Stroudsburg can be in the mix there in the top 6.
Yeah, and again, they do it quietly. You don't always hear a lot about the teams up north, but quietly just doing what they need to get things done.
They're leading 23-0. You had the game last week, East Stroudsburg South and Pocono Mountain West, and thought East Stroudsburg South was going to kick a field goal at the end of the game. They couldn't convert it, and it was one of those that really maybe just ended their season kind of.
And we'll see what happens as they come back with these next 2 games. But right now, does not look good for them, for Coach Walters to get his team back into the district playoffs and defend that championship.
2nd down and 11 after the loss. Down to 6:15 on the clock. Looking to throw, nothing there. Now hangs one up there, and one goes into the coaching staff. And they'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we've seen Easton in the first half go for it on 4th down at a couple different times. So we'd have to think, Coach Brado, is there a number you have to get here on 3rd down to put yourself in a position to say, hey, let's go for it on 4th? I mean, I would have to think at this point it's still early in the second half, but
is it early?
I kind of think you have to go. Mm-hmm. You have to make something happen.
So 3rd down and 11. They'll give it to Hutchinson. He gets to the outside. Got a block, but they're going to pull this one back.
They're going to catch number 25, Alex Georges, on holding on the far side. That's what sprung Hutchinson free. That's going to put them 3rd and about 19.
We always talk about players that stand out. And you see right there, you can see top of the screen, Odin Ferenzi at 6'5", 320. He stands out.
He does.
He's a bit taller than you. 6 minutes on the clock after the penalty. And if you're wondering where that first down marker is now, because you were just talking about it before, it's at the 41-yard line of Emmaus. So it's a third down and a long 22, 23 yards.
Third and 22.
So Hutchinson comes out to the near side. And here comes the pressure. He throws in traffic, and that ball is tipped at the last second as he was looking in the direction of J.C. Wilson. We'll see the punting unit come in here for the Red Rovers.
And it looked like Wilson had the first down, or not the first down, but had some good yardage, and just not able to get that in. Credit the defender of Emmaus coming over and getting the hand up there, touching it just a little bit, just to distract him enough.
So 35-14. And Easton will punt this one away to get a fair catch at the 30-yard line. I'll bring the Emmaus offense back on the field here. St. Luke's is the region's largest sports medicine provider, covering more than 200,000 student enrollment and 40,000 student athletes in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, covering 8 counties and providing the most comprehensive and advanced treatment for athletic injuries. St. Luke's offers athletic training, orthopedic care, physical therapy, and concussion management, plus sports performance training for individual athletes and teams. During these extraordinary times, you trust St. Luke's Sports Medicine to provide extraordinary care. So 1st and 10 from the 31. Emmaus can score from really anywhere on the field. I'm just going to say that now. Obviously, that's why they're 7-1 and almost 8-0, as they'll send this one to the far side of the field.
And the flag came down over there. I think they're going to get Emmaus's lead blocker. I think it was Wassel, number 25, out in front holding. So it's going to push them back.
J.C. Wilson, number 17, on the stop.
So clock stops with 5:06 on the clock.
But I don't know if not to be funny, but it's kind of funny. If you're Easton, you decline it. You don't want to put them back there deep. The way they play on third
it's
for
amazing.
second and third and long.
Now, we have not seen the second half so far. Josiah Williams and Jake Foda at the same time. We saw that in the first half.
And I was going to mention that to you before that play happened. Yeah, we haven't seen that. The Josiah Williams and Foda in the backfield.
So the ball at the 20-yard line. First down marker at the 41. Motion, near side. Darville, Foda. Going to hand this one off to Jarvis. And Jarvis, and another hit at the end of that play as well. That one, and no flag.
And that's another one that was really close.
Number 54, Sean Wilson on the tackle.
Again, shout out to our student reporters, Lily Peters down.
Then picks up Emmaus picks up the
yard line.
If you're Emmaus, you're going to have. And I think Josiah Williams, if he looks at that on film, he's going to see, I think he's scoring a touchdown. There was nobody out there, but he cut up in the middle.
The ball at the 45-yard line. Third down and 5 with 4 minutes on the clock. Emmaus taking their time as they're going. And Foda is going to go to the far side of the field and run it up and get right around midfield before he's knocked out of bounds.
Jacob Foda on the carry.
And just at the end of that play, he had Rafael Torrero breaking free into the secondary, but unfortunately for Emmaus, Foda did not have the ability to turn and and get his body set to throw the ball down the field to him. But fourth down, and you see Emmaus, they're not slowing down. They're going.
Yeah, Matt, they're going. They're a little patient, and taking their time as they go through. As the clock's winding down, 3:40 and counting.
But also saw, if I wasn't mistaken, Josiah Williams was running on the field, so we'll have Williams and Foda.
It's a big play here. 4th down and 1. The ball sits right at midfield. There's Williams and
timeout.
Timeout. They'll assess this and get this back. And having a couple of technical issues with the Wi-Fi every now and then that pop through. We hope you stay with us here. And happens every now and then. Talking about the 6A classification, Matt, Emmaus, Nazareth, Northampton, Freedom, all in at this point. Parkland winning their game right now. They're the 5 seed. This is, we're in week number 9. A Parkland victory will pop them in. Stroudsburg victory, according to Jaden Harper, he must talk to the coach. They know something that we don't until I see like green on the whatchamacallit, I don't say it, but a victory by Stroudsburg
should put them in. You would think.
So.
And what would be nice to know is any kind of update between Williamsport and Hazleton, because that also plays a factor into Stroudsburg being in, as well as some other teams below them.
So 4th down and 1, the ball at midfield, 35-14. Easton on top. Josiah Williams in motion, now comes right back and takes it, and will be to the far side.
So they had to get to the 49. And the way it's coming down, he's coming down short of the 49.
No.
I'm at a loss.
Yeah, that one was interesting. Where the spot was, and it looked like they stopped him right at the 50. They put it at the 49-yard line. They'll go on the ground and hand it off to Jarvis. And Jarvis, so where you think Easton has life there, all of a sudden now new life for Emmaus that they continue to push the ball through.
And I think at that point, if Easton gets the ball there with that stop, they're going 3 minutes.
And a New York Life first down, so now they're moving the chains and getting a good job there. Matt, last check, and I'll try to update you, it was 14-14. Actually, get you an update because you asked for that question. See, you ask and I try to deliver. So what's Williamsport? The Millionaires, huh?
Our Millionaires, yes.
Millionaires, it was 14-14 at one point, but now all of a sudden the Cougars of Hazleton have taken the lead 28-14. So Hazleton has the lead there. So that changed that bottom half of that draw. 1st and 10 from the 37. So a couple plays in a row here run by Jarvis. As he gets across the 35 down to about the 34-yard line.
Still early, as I said, but you have to start to think Willie Emmaus, and you kind of see Jarvis there. He tried to come upfield. He tried to come upfield a little bit. Do they stay in bounds? Do they do everything they can to stay in bounds so they keep the clock rolling, even though it is only in the 3rd quarter and it'll be early in the 4th?
Palmerton, Tamako with a good one going end to end of 3. Palmerton leading 36-20. Get you some EPC scores as I get them. Oh, the ball just goes straight down. And a great job of Foda to cover that one up.
Yeah, as you said it correctly. Foda, he sees it right away, and he gets down on the ball quickly.
Northern Lehigh leading 14-13 over Jim Thorpe with a minute left in the game. Blue Mountain, who is trailing the Slaters, are now leading 21-20 with a minute left. A tough loss for Saucon Valley. They went down tonight 24-7. That makes that bracket interesting. Still likely a chance to get in. Foda fakes it, pumps it. Here comes the pressure and just throws it and will connect. Darville.
And that's another one that was near out of bounds.
It looks like, they're going to get the ball. They're going to get a New York Life first down. It looked like maybe they were going to get a loss, maybe a tackle. Instead, they get the first down out of that as he just released the ball at the last second.
And again, 3rd and long. Who do you go to? Dylan Darville. He's the one. He's the one making the plays for them tonight.
So 3 in the books, 1 to play. It is 35-14 Emmaus. You're watching our D11sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine.
Do you suffer from nagging neck or back pain? The St. Luke's Comprehensive Spine Program can get you better, faster. We're easy to access and don't require a referral. We'll call you, discuss your symptoms, and put you on a path to healing with the most appropriate provider. Call 1-866-ST. Luke's, option 6, or fill out the online form.
Interested in a medical career? Consider St. Luke's if you want to be a doctor or a nurse. Based in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, we are the area's only 4-year medical school and the largest provider of medical residencies and fellowships, and the country's longest-running school of nursing, trained at an organization that is nationally recognized in education, patient care, and quality. See why we are ranked the nation's #1 teaching hospital. Where you train matters. The best doctors and nurses train at the best hospitals. St. Luke's University Health Network.
Well, 3 in the books, 1 to play. 35-14 is your score. It's a first down and 10 for Emmaus. The ball sits at the 24-yard line of the Red Rovers. They scored coming out of the quarter. 34 yards, Jake Foda to Dylan Darville. And now they're looking to extend that lead, and then they flag to start the 4th quarter. So the penalty here moves them back 5 yards. And Matt, next week we have the big matchup between Northampton and Whitehall. Playoff positioning where it's going to be. Northampton right now leading 41-16 over Deerhoff. So unless something dramatic happens there, Northampton will be looking for a perfect regular season in a game finale against Whitehall.
And that will give us a good chance to see Northampton both teams heading into the playoffs and where they're at and what they're capable of doing.
So first down and 15 from the 29-yard line. Pump and throw. Has the receiver, but overthrows him.
Just puts it too far. Yes, puts it too far out of reach.
Northern Lehigh beats Jim Thorpe by 1, 14-13. So Northern Lehigh is battling with Tri-Valley for the top spot, again, in the 1A classification. Northern Lehigh is a good football team. They're going to improve to 8. They improved to 8-1.
And I think that puts Northern Lehigh in a great situation. Their only loss this year is to North Schuylkill.
Mm-hmm.
In a very good North Schuylkill team that we've seen.
On the handoff, taken here by Jarvis, nowhere to go. Oh, red jerseys. A couple guys in there, including Jasir Frucci.
And again, looking at Jarvis running the ball, it's not looking like he's trying to get anywhere. He's just trying to get some yards and then just get down to keep that clock running. They're not trying to really push the action right now. But dare I say it, here we are in 3rd and long. 3rd and long has been very beneficial and successful for Emmaus tonight.
It has indeed. Parkland leading Liberty 42-19 at the end of the 3 quarters. Last check. 3rd down and 21. 2 receivers split on either side. And they'll fake the handoff, and great job by avoiding to get tackled. Still on his feet. Tries to get to the outside. Now has some space. And there's a flag thrown at the end of that play.
Number 17.
This is going to be an interesting call.
It's going to go against Emmaus. I believe you're going to get a holding call against the Emmaus lineman. I think we'll see Easton decline that.
Okay, I wasn't sure if there was that hand that came up towards the face, but it is on.
But as you said, what a scramble by Foda. Originally, he has the pressure in his face from Ibrahim Dale up on the top part of your screen, gets him up in the air, and then able to elude him, breaks another tackle, and then you're going to see here coming in, 68 just pushes in the back as Foda's trying to scramble. He's just trying to help his quarterback out, give him a little bit of time, a little bit of room to get something on that play.
Watch our D11sports.com game of the week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Al DiCarlo, Matt Avancho. Down on the field, Lily Peters. Sean Riley here, Sports Fan Base Network, and their team pushing the right buttons. Every now and then you get that hiccup. Wi-Fi goes all Wi-Fi.
Interesting here, Al. 4th down.
4th down and 21. The ball sits at the 31. Foda with trips far side and has a room to throw, and they'll throw it downfield. I think you got a flag guaranteed there. The Easton defender just pulled down the Emmaus player.
Well, it looks like Easton thinks it's against Emmaus.
He caught the ball, did he not?
I thought he caught the ball, but they're not calling it complete.
Well, I don't know. Well, I thought I saw it red pulling down white. Did I see it wrong? I guess I did. See, I think everybody in the crowd's as stunned as I am.
Again, just waiting.
The way I saw that one. So Easton will get the football back here. Change it down. Take a look.
So I don't know. It's up top. It's J.V. Johnson, Dylan Darville. I think that's nothing, though.
Yep.
I don't think you call. Don't throw anything there. Both of them had their hands on each other. Darville tries to come underneath to make the catch, but I didn't see him push J.V. Johnson at all. But it gives Easton some life and plenty of time to get some things going.
Looking to throw. And it will get Juju Fears. Pick up about 7 yards. Tonight's game brought to you by the Cliff Lewis Experience at Caldwell Banker Hertside, ranked as the #1 real estate team in Pennsylvania and #2 nationwide. The Cliff Lewis Experience can help you with all your real estate needs. Serving the Lehigh Valley, Berks, Bucks, and Montgomery counties. Visit their website at clifflewisrealtor.com or call 610-936-9960 to speak with an agent today. It looks like no time has gone off here in the fourth quarter. I keep looking over there, and I thought it was broken. Still sitting at 10:30. That's when I'm going to get out of here, but it's still sitting at 10:30 on the clock in the fourth quarter. All the time in the world to throw, and the ball bobbled a couple times and then knocked away.
And credit the defense on that as they come up and close in on Juju Fears and just getting enough on the hands and the arms to disrupt his concentration and not let him come down with that reception.
Jackson late on the cover. Number 11 for next. Third and 3.
So 3rd down and 3 from the 38 for the Red Rovers. Hutchinson gets taken down on the play immediately by Jarek Cooper.
And another time it's with the defense just getting into position and staying disciplined and staying in their gaps. You're going to see it clearly here as the linebackers are flowing over top of this play, just continuing to work, and then just bringing down Hutchinson in the backfield.
Red Rovers will call a timeout. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 616-4430 today. Today's game also brought to you by Michael R. Glovis, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley, located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301 in Easton, PA. For all your investment needs, call Michael R. Glovis at 610-559-6380. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. St. Luke's is the region's largest sports medicine provider, covering more than 200,000 student enrollment and 40,000 student athletes in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, covering 8 counties and providing the most comprehensive and advanced treatment for athletic injuries. St. Luke's offers athletic training, orthopedic care, physical therapy, and concussion management, plus sports performance training for individual athletes and teams during these extraordinary times. You can trust St. Luke's Sports Medicine to provide extraordinary care. We are in week 9 of the high school football season. Next week, week 10, we go Friday, Saturday, Whitehall at Northampton and Liberty at Freedom. 4th down and 7. Looking to throw. Goes the other side of the field, and that one is going to be picked off. Taking that one away by Jace Foda. Jace Foda comes up with a big INT, and now with under 10.
I'm just shocked at that play. You have your quarterback running to his right, and then you ask him to throw 3/4 of the way back across the field. Just not sure about the play design.
So 35-14, and Emmaus will get the ball back at the 44-yard line. On the ground, and then trying to make a turn. Not much there. I believe this is the first carry of the game by Josiah Banks.
Either the first or the second. He was in a little bit the last series, but don't quite remember if he had a run or not.
Matt, you got a little college football news, huh?
Listen, I don't always trust what I read on Twitter, but, I mean, it looked like a credible source saying that Nick Saban has announced to his team he's not coming back at the end of the season.
Well, that puts it. See, I always make this local, okay? I always make this local. First game that Kieran Lincheski is gonna do, as this one's taken there by Josiah Williams, and Williams with a New York Life first down is gonna be Ole Miss against.
That's right.
Against Alabama, so maybe she'll get the scoop and ask him afterwards.
So Josiah Williams fakes to Josiah Banks, and then a good play there. Just gets downfield, picks up the first down, but most importantly, stays in bounds.
Next week, Emmaus will host Parkland, and Easton will be back here at Cottingham to host Nazareth. You knew you had this 1-2 tandem. Here's Williams. Again, as you and I, we said, the first game that we have done, have we seen him, doing this all year? But that's such an extra bonus. I mean, it's it really keeps the defense on their toes at all times.
Absolutely, and you have a quarterback in Josiah Williams who played the majority of last season as the starter, and took them to a real nice record and had a lot of success. But now you have him, you have Foda. Emmaus has a lot of nice pieces and a lot of guys around that can make a deep run, I think, in the district playoffs.
Now bouncing off a defender, still on his feet and finally taken down. That's Banks. Banks at 5'10", 180.
And he is the second leading rusher on the team, and so he has been getting some time. Emmaus has had situations where they've been able to get up and they've been able to get their guys in, so he is somebody that they can rely on moving down the stretch as well.
So first and goal from the 6. Williams will take it, get inside the 5. And that's about it, as we're at the 7-minute mark.
And that's another opportunity where I think Josiah Williams missed the blocks to get outside. That he has, the blocks are pinning the guys inside. He just needs to get around them and get to the outside.
Second down and goal from the
So
6.
Freedom beats Bethlehem Catholic 24-14. Second down and goal from the 6. Williams again takes this one and dives through a 6-yard touchdown by Josiah Williams, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. And Emmaus really putting this one away now.
And honestly, you take Emmaus and you look at what they did tonight. Before we look at the replay after the extra point, they've just been methodical as they've gone. They haven't really blown it out. It wasn't like they got out to a huge lead. They just stayed their course throughout. And Coach Fairclough, we talked to him about the loss last week, and he said, we have a 24-hour rule. You need to feel it. You need to feel that pain. But let's take a look at the highlight, and I'll come back to that what we talked about. But here, again, Josiah Williams is a play design that they've been using a lot in both with Josiah Williams and Jake Foda. But it's just bring the back in motion, ride that until you read what the defender's going to do. He decides to pull it, and he gets right up in the middle, a nice hole, and gets in for the touchdown. But Coach Fairclough, go back to what I was saying, mentioned about this 24-hour rule. He wants them to feel that. He wants them to feel the loss. He wants them to feel the wins, feel the success. But after 24 hours, it's gone. It's done. Yep. You need to move on. You need to get ready. And I think the big point that I liked hearing him say was, yes, we had that. We said we're going to, but we're not going. We're still going to come back and learn from it. We're still going to come back and learn from the mistakes that we made and what we need to fix moving forward.
So Aaron Garcia to kick this one off as we are right at 6:22. This one go right around the 20-yard line for the Red Rovers, and nowhere to go from there. Matt, throw some scores at you. A couple ones interesting because Catasauqua is now tied. Palisades missed a field goal, and they are still tied 14-14. But I want to throw you a little bit more there that makes it a little interesting. I mentioned Freedom just won 24-14, so Freedom in Northampton are both going to get the wins tonight. Nazareth winning handily over Whitehall 35-7. So I don't think anything is going to change. It should stay exactly how it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's possible that Freedom could pass Northampton. It's a possibility. They're playing a 4A school, but not sure on that one. Blue Mountain came back and they beat Bangor 21-20. And this one on the run, and maybe the best run of the night here for J.V. Johnson. Had a couple good ones before that one. But
J.V. Johnson, he's their other back. He gets in there, gets a block from Ibrahim Dale, gets another one from Sam Nestor. They're pulling. They're both guards. Pin and pull, get play. They block down, pull them to the outside, and then J.V. Johnson finds a seam and hits up inside that seam for a nice gain.
End of 3, Hazleton's winning 28-14 over Williamsport. This is like time of year you start looking at it. You're like, all right, well, we're on week 9. Things are going to start changing. I know Bob Hartman and Jason Zimmerman, they'll be looking at the things and have these updated, Sometimes they have them updated at the end of the night. That's how fast those guys go with that stuff. Interesting in the 4A classification, Bethlehem Catholic gets the loss. However, Bangor
Catholic gets a loss.
Bethlehem Catholic gets a loss. Central Catholic got the win last night.
I'm sorry. Yes, That's right. Last night.
And Bangor ends up losing, puts Pottsville at 5-4. Puts Blue Mountain at 5-4. Pottsville's playing North Schuylkill, I believe, tonight. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
So those 4 spots are going to come down to a very minimal point difference.
On the handoff, and the ball got loose at the end of that play. No, correction. North Schuylkill playing Salisbury tonight. And, so Pottsville.
So Pottsville we had last week. So about 4.5 minutes left in the game. Easton still pushing, still trying to get down the field, score some points. And with that run, J.V. Johnson picks up the first down for Easton, moving the ball just outside the 45-yard line going in.
Looking through my notes, can't find this stuff. That's what happens when I get disorganized. But I have an organized guy like you ready to go, and you're going to let me know.
We're going to look. We're going to see if I have this anywhere.
Looking to throw. Nothing there. So 3:38 on the clock. And there'll be a second down coming up.
For Easton tonight, you look at what they were able to do, and you sit back and you kind of look at the ability they were able to run the ball.
They have Southern Lehigh tonight. See if I can get a score on that one as we go here. And that's a huge game for Southern Lehigh as well, being that Whitehall lost.
But fortunate for Southern Lehigh, even with depending on what happens with Southern Lehigh or Whitehall losing, you kind of have a little bit of room where even if you did drop that game, you're still okay.
Palisades and Catasauqua, two teams there in 2A classification, have gone to overtime. Palisades coach from last year, Rami Moose on the sidelines for Emmaus. So 2:54 on the clock, 42-14 your score. Easton trying to finish this one out at least with some more points on the scoreboard. Looking to throw middle part of the field and will connect. Gets a New York Life first down. So that was a perfect pass into the hands of J.C. Wilson.
And J.C. Wilson, the sophomore, he runs an under route, a dig route across the middle. They wait till the linebackers clear out. He hits right behind them. And Martinez, being patient in the pocket, able to find the seam to get the ball to Wilson. And then he does a little bit to pick up some extra yardage and pick up a first down.
So the ball down to the 30-yard line. Here comes the pressure. Gets popped as he throws, but completes it. Somehow down to the 20-yard line.
The ball hung up there, but credit J.C. Wilson going up and grabbing it out of the air. But Martinez took a shot from a blitzing linebacker that was not picked up. You're going to see the linebacker come right up the middle. Defensive lineman come right up the middle unblocked. Just a twist by the two defensive linemen, and they'd never pick up the second guy.
So first down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Here comes the pressure again. This one goes towards the end zone. There's a flag on the play.
And it looks like it's a touchdown, too.
Well, Easton comes up with it, and that was Logan Brado, I believe. No, Is it Juju Fears?
Juju Fears comes down with the ball. But we have an Easton defender down. Our Easton player down. And Martinez.
So it is a touchdown, 20 yards to Juju Fears. Some of these games, these calls have been delayed that the fans are going to react on those.
I'm not quite sure why the Easton staff is arguing.
So it comes at 1:24 on the clock. Joey Martinez to Juju Fears.
Number 3, in the right corner of the hole for Lucy Kick.
So Easton only has one timeout left. Again, they'll go for the onside kick. 42-21. And we take a look at it again.
So you see it's Juju Fierce. He's on top of the screen. He just gets the defender turned around, and the defender grabs him, but Fierce strong enough to work out of that grab and come down with the reception for the touchdown.
Yeah, Fierce 7 receiving touchdowns on the season. Makes it 42-21. Again, next week it will be Emmaus hosting Parkland and Easton hosting Nazareth. And we will be at Northampton. Again, I want to thank Jim Prokrivsak for having us here this night. Just a great view from up top here. And always great atmosphere here at Cottingham Stadium. Fans obviously like wins than losses, but they're going to be excited. And again, the big matchup next week against Nazareth, it's always, big each and every year.
And it's a big matchup, and it's also your senior night, so you definitely want to come out and perform.
Easton's kick goes out of bounds.
So
Easton goes for the onside kick, just not able to get any kind of bounce from the ball, just get it across the turf and goes out of bounds.
So remember earlier I said Parkland was losing in their game against Liberty.
Yes.
Well, they just flipped the switch real quick, and Parkland wins handily tonight, 56-19 over Liberty. So Parkland, again, getting Luke Spang back and getting healthy. They're a dangerous, dangerous team that right now is sitting now with a win at 6-3.
And what a matchup that would be if it stays as it is right now. The 4-5 matchup would be Freedom against Parkland.
Right.
In the first round.
And next week's game becomes really interesting with Parkland at Emmaus. Parkland, a victory over Emmaus can really jump them into those spots there. So that's a huge, huge matchup going in there.
And I think for Coach Farrakhan tonight, you come out of here, you had a real good night, offensively, defensively. You're getting out of here healthy, so you're setting yourself up for that game next week against Parkland. And the same, likewise for Parkland, you're coming out of that game healthy. You want to make sure you're getting ready for that and to make your postseason run.
Without a doubt, they'll take the knee here, try to wind down this clock. So Emmaus comes into Cottingham Stadium. They had lost 3 in a row to Easton, but not tonight as they win this one by a score of 42-21. They'll still solidify that top seed right now going into week number 10. That being said, they have a huge matchup against Parkland, which will really decide that. It will decide everything, really. Who's going to be 1, 2, and 3, the top 4. So next week's really for all the marbles. So Emmaus improves to 8-1. Nazareth would have won today. They improved to 8-1. Northampton would have won tonight. They improved to 9-0. We'll have them against Whitehall. And Freedom goes to 7-2. Shannon's down there with Coach. Go ahead, Shannon.
Hi, I am here with Emmaus' coach. What were your thoughts on today's game?
I thought we played pretty well in all 3 phases of the game. I think we have to clean up some of the mistakes that we made penalty-wise. And some just basic stuff on the defense side, like tackling and things like that. So definitely have some room for improvement going into our final week here.
You've lost the last 3 games against Easton, but you've won today. So how does that feel?
It feels real good, especially coming up here in Cottingham. First time we've been here in a while, so it feels really good.
And then how do you plan on improving for next game?
Well, tomorrow, we're going to enjoy this one first for about 24 hours. Then we'll come back in tomorrow. We'll watch some film, get the corrections out, and then we're on to the next one. We got a big one next week too.
Thank you, Coach. Great game.
All right. Thanks down the field. Shannon Bickert with Coach Fairclough and having a chance to talk to him. And, Matt, obviously some crazy scores out there. Not crazy, expected scores. But when you start seeing teams, lose, when you start looking at different classifications. All right, we'll talk about the 6A class. So Emmaus a winner, 8-1. Nazareth a winner, 8-1. Northampton a winner, 9-0. Freedom a winner at 7-2. Parkland a winner, 6-3. Stroudsburg a winner at 6-3. And Hazleton and Williamsport playing as well. So it looks like your 8 teams are really almost in, depending on what Wilkes-Barre did, because they have a game as well.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to come down to. What happens with the Wilkes-Barre, Williamsport, and as you said, Stroudsburg winning tonight, I think puts them in a great position about where they're going to head. But set up, as you said, I think you kind of know, other than some jockeying for position, you know who the 8 teams are, really. It's just about who is your matchup going to be, and then how does that matchup favor you as you get moving, because that's really the key. Can you get a favorable matchup, and then you need to go on a three-game winning streak to win the district title in the 6A classification, and who's most well-equipped to do that? I mean, Emmaus looks like they're pretty well-equipped. I think Nazareth showed they are. Freedom definitely has shown they are. Parkland, they've come back. They're showing. We'll see Northampton next week. We're talking 5 teams deep already. We don't get to see Hazleton as much. We don't get to see them. What are they looking like? Where are they at? But
well, I'm going to tell you where they're at.
We're 5-6 teams deep already.
I'm going to tell you where they're at. Catasauqua was leading, by the way, 17-14 overtime. Hazleton won 28-14 over Williamsport. So Hazleton gets the win. They go to 7-2 now. So they won't jump Parkland. And again, the top 5 should stay the same, and there's a possibility of maybe some movement. But for the most part, I think they're going to stay the same in the 6A classification. With that said, so it's going to become an interesting week. And then you get down to that Liberty Freedom game that on that Saturday, it always comes down to Liberty and Freedom and Deerfield and Allen, because those are the points, the extra point that you're going to get here or there that gives someone a chance to either be a 3-seed or a 4-seed or a 5-seed or wherever it is on there.
And that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. How does that game play out, and how does that affect the positioning? Freedom has a lot to lose in that situation. If they don't win that game, they're dropping to the bottom half of the bracket. They have to travel, and they have a tough matchup. So I think going in, they have a lot to lose, and they really need to take care of business in that rivalry.
Indeed. Jaden Harper, our Stroudsburg student reporter, with the word clinched, as Stroudsburg will get in that 6A classification with the victory to make it 6-3. And right now, Jake Foto, who had a great day, had 5 touchdowns, 3 on the ground, 2 through the air. He is down there with our student reporters, and we'll send it down to Lily Peters. Lily?
Hi, I'm here with D11's player of the game, Jake Foda. And how does it feel that you've led 5 touchdowns during this game and you've led your team to a victory?
It feels great, but I couldn't have done it without my teammates. The O-line did a great job, and that's all I could have asked for.
And how next week are you preparing to play against a tough Parkland team?
Yeah, we're just going to take it one day at a time like we do each week, and Coach really emphasizes that, and nothing's going to change.
Okay, thank you. Great game.
Thank you.
All right, Lily, thanks a lot. And we want to thank Lily Peters. Her first time, by the way. She's been covering games and doing articles, but did a great job down the field with Shannon Bickert. We want to thank them. Shout out to Austin Ports, who couldn't be here tonight. Obviously, Joey Draper is at State College. He's hanging out, ready for the whiteout. That's where I'm ready to go as well. But our student reporters continue to do a great job with those interviews, and we appreciate the coaches and talking to them before the game as well. That'll do it for us for tonight. 42-21. It's going to be an interesting game, as next week we'll be at Northampton, Northampton, with Whitehall looking to solidify that 2 spot. I think that's – but if they win, they can really, probably, depending on what Southern Lehigh does, they can maybe jump in that number 1 spot as well. At the same time for Northampton, a chance to go undefeated. So we should have a good game, and then obviously Liberty and Freedom.
Absolutely, and I think it's great to see everything come into play next week. All the playoff pictures come clear, and we get set for the second half of the season.
So that will do it for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Final score once again 42-21. Emmaus a winner over the Easton Red Rovers. Hope you enjoyed our D11sports.com game of the week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. For everyone down the field, Lily Peters, Shannon Bickert, and Dave Micah. For my broadcast partner Matt Avancho, for Sean Riley and the Sports Fan Base Network, Al DeCarlo saying so long. Final score once again, Emmaus with a victorious win, with a win. By a score of 42-21. Have a great night. It is Friday.